Hi friends, this is a special episode of Lo-Fi Let's Play, a Halloween present from me to you. You asked and now I'm delivering a complete playthrough of the Colonel's Bequest, my favorite old Sierra adventure game that we previously previewed on Rock, Paper, Shotgun just a couple weeks ago. So yes, let's say we previously attended a performance. If you want to see the first 20 minutes of this game, go ahead and check in with the Lo-Fi Let's Play that we'll link in the post below. But now we're going to see how sleuthy we are as young Laura Bow, who has been invited to the mansion of her childhood friend Lillian Prune to see about the bequest of Lillian's aging uncle. I'm happy to say, friends, you know, when I was young, I used to love to play adventure games with my friends and have them side by side with me, and we would work together to solve the mysteries, and I bet if you grew up with computer games and adventure games, you have many memories like that too. I'm happy to say that I have a friend with me today, my friend Quintin Smith, who some of you may know.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah, so Quintin is going to join me on this very special full-length Lo-Fi Let's Play. So here we are, starting out. If you watched the previous episode, you'll know the actual circumstances of this game, whereby our friend Laura is at her friend's house. Let's turn the speed up. You know, let's make it so that we don't have to walk too slowly. And you know, I like to use the arrow keys, friends. Let's go in here just to remind you a little bit. What do you see here, Quins? Would you like to read the description?
Well, it looks as if this might have been a nursery at one time. Now it's been converted into a makeshift guest room with Ethel as its current guest.
Ethel, right. Now, Ethel is the mother of our friend Lillian. We met some characters last time we were here. We met the Colonel. So ask Ethel about the Colonel. Just to remember, you know, the parser is very sophisticated here. What does Ethel say?
Henri?
You could say, let's call him Henry, friends. It's a bit easier than Henri.
Okay. Henry's always been a penny-pinching miser, and he hates people. That's why he lives way out here. So is Henry the Colonel of Colonel's Bequest fame?
Yes, Henry is the Colonel. He has an extensive squabbling family. He lives out on the bayou. He employs a maid, and there's some other surprises that we're going to learn about the Colonel as this game goes on.
So should we state that, you know, you have this is a relic from your childhood, but
a relic. You know, how old do you think I am?
but I've never seen this.
Yeah, well, you know, you maybe aren't that experienced with computer games, Mr. Smith.
No, not really.
So we're asking Ethel about her nephew, Rudy. Tries to pass himself off as a gentleman, but he's nothing but a worthless gambler and womanizer. At the conclusion of our last episode, we met Rudy and his sister Gloria. It's a bit tough to keep all the family members straight in this adventure, isn't it?
I kind of imagined that when this originally came out, it might have a little paper fold-out family tree.
It actually did, yeah. And actually,
really?
Yeah, I think it did. It showed the family tree. We discussed the framing device for the Colonel's Bequest the last time we played, and it's sort of like an old play. Old-fashioned dinner theater-style murder mystery. So Gloria is Rudy's sister, acts like she's a famous actress, but she's a casting couch cookie. I see. So Ethel, this old lady here we often see drinking with her glass and kerchief, she has a lot to say about everybody.
She doesn't seem to approve of any of them, though.
No, well, none of them approve of each other. It's interesting when traditional families have these kinds of problems, isn't it, Quins?
I think so. The girl had better watch her step around here. Which one's Fifi?
Fifi is the family maid. You know, fear not, we're going to meet everybody. So, you know, as you will have seen in the previous episode, our friend Lillian has brought us here as a guest during an important family weekend. And Lillian immediately drops us off alone in the house and leaves us to wander around.
The picture of the Colonel in his glory days there.
That's right. Oh, and here we are in the back upstairs hallway in the mansion. As we saw in the previous episode, Lillian consistently will, at this point, go to the ladies' room to wash up. So why don't we take a look and see what she's up to in here. Feels a little creepy watching Lillian get washed up.
That is true. I'm also still reeling from the fact that her second name is Prune. Hi, Laura. I'm feeling better now. That ride through the bayou had me...
Bayou?
Bayou?
Bayou. A bayou means a swamp, generally in the southeastern region of America. Florida, New Orleans, parts of these are close to sea level, and therefore they have swamps. You know, have you seen CSI Miami?
I've actually been to a bayou.
Oh, I see, and you still didn't learn how to pronounce it, did you?
No, but I learned that crocodiles love marshmallows.
Well, you might actually learn a bit about that in this game if we get through it.
Really?
So, yeah.
That ride through the bayou had me plumb frazzled. If you need to freshen up too, I'll be done in just a bit.
Well, thanks, Lillian. So let's have a look at Lillian, learn a thing or two about her. Lillian Prune is a rebellious flapper. Like you, she is 20 years old. I am 20. But unlike you, she has been known to hang out in speakeasies, smoke, and run around with several young men, which I, for one, would never do. And I know you wouldn't either, Quins. She is assertive and outgoing to the point of obnoxiousness, but underneath it all, you believe her to be a lonely, insecure girl. Well, that's Miss Lillian. Lillian's almost finished washing up, and we watch her apply some perfume, is it? You see nothing special. Smell Lillian. Well, sniff, sniff. Okay, that's fine. I wanted to demonstrate that this parser is actually very sophisticated. It's aware of... off she goes. It's aware of many of the things that the player wants to do, which we did talk about in the previous episode. I'm not going to spend any time on the background right now, but we know that Lillian has returned to the room that her mother is in. And if we go in here, they're gossiping, and Ethel is drunkenly shaking her handkerchief at her daughter.
I don't think she has any.
Oh, hello, dear. Yeah, so it doesn't seem they're willing to have a conversation in front of us. Ask Lillian about the house. What should I do around here, Lillian? Oh, I guess she has no ideas for something fun to do, Quintin. I have an idea for something fun we should do. So let me show you something, which we did learn in the previous episode, but for first-time viewers. Above the fireplace, you notice a picture of Colonel Dijon in his younger, more vital days. That's a little Cluedo reference, Colonel Dijon.
Oh!
Yeah. Oh, so you just got that. Very good. I like playing with friends because it's fun to figure out the mysteries together. On the opposite wall, you also see a picture of a little girl. Funny, the girl's eyes have a strange, hollow look to them, and Quins, I'm about to impress you with my adventure game puzzle-solving skills.
Well, now, this is something I found interesting because, from the outside, these puzzles always seem so obscure to me, but in watching your Lo-Fi Let's Play series, I found out that a lot of the time, clues, almost imperceptible clues, are hidden in the descriptions of objects.
That's right. It's not a mechanic that it's easy to get familiar with, but it is a very specific and skill-oriented mechanic, nonetheless. The ability to closely read descriptions and pay attention to what they might be trying to tell you. And a skilled adventure game writer knows how to direct the player with a single word in a description. So if you were observant, you would have found the secret passage. And, some poking around here would tell you that you can look at the holes in the painting, just like in spooky old houses. So
Gertie isn't deserving of any of Henry's money. Why, she's not even a blood relative.
What are you going to do about it, Mother?
Glug, glug, glug. Well, I can certainly talk to Henry about her and those two brats of hers. Glug, glug, glug.
You never change, do you, Mother? Let's observe. Ethel has a prop with her.
Never mind, Lillian. You and I will never agree on anything. You'd think that Lillian would be, take glug, glug, glug. So, speaking as an outsider, can I take that cup and the fact that we're always being shown in animations as a clue? Something that we can do with it, for example.
Well, what we're told in the beginning of this game is that Laura has a notebook, and she records everything that she observes. It's good to be observant, let's say. Use all of your 5 senses, the manual advises. So, because we played the first 20 minutes earlier, we happen to know that currently the Colonel himself is in this room right here with his controversial young French maid, Fifi. And I do apologize to viewers who are sensitive to the use of stereotypes. Oh, if you open the armoire, nothing important. If you're sensitive to the use of stereotypes, there are some unfortunate stereotypes. There is a magical voodoo woman of the South in this game, which is kind of an offensive stereotype, and the French maid stereotype is a little bit unpleasant. So I do apologize for that. I think the use of archetypes in this game came out 89, 92, I'm not sure, but it's considered quaint and rather than being offensive at the time. So let's look in the holes and see what's happening in this room. This looks very saucy. They're actually undressed.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my god, this is...
I am actually surprised by this.
Perhaps this Let's Play is not safe for work. Oh, they're just resuming. Oh, mon ami, I find it difficult to refuse you. I am so attracted to you.
She's lying. She's after his money. Well, I was quite a blade in my younger days.
Oh la la, I can tell, Henri, I can tell. Ah, so Ethel was right, perhaps, to mistrust the maid.
Ah, Fifi, wait.
No, he's not French.
Ah, Fifi, my dear, I do appreciate you, but you'd better leave now, before we're noticed.
If you say so, Henri, au revoir, mon chéri. Okay, wow, friends, we've just witnessed something a little bit intimate and uncomfortable. No sooner have we been invited to this family mansion than we're crawling around and spying on everyone. Seems a little rude. Let's go and see what's going on in this room now that we've witnessed that thing. This elegant room must be the Colonel's. You notice that there is an elevator here. Now, Quins, there is a time mechanic going on. You notice the clock changed when we observed that scene?
Yeah.
If I had walked into this room, rather than watching the scene through the holes, I have to say the time would have passed. So there are some things you maybe only know on your first playthrough, but we would have missed our chance to observe the Colonel and Fifi together, as far as I know. So here's the guest room of Dr. Wilbur C. Fields, which, that name for a physician does not engender confidence for me. Let's see.
Hey, it's one of those beds that folds out from the cupboard.
A Murphy bed, it's called. Yeah, very good, Quinns. Do you have Murphy beds in this country?
We don't. It's one of the many American things we learn about from sitcoms.
It's Dr. Fields' bag.
Open the bag.
Okay, what's in the doctor's bag? Since it belongs to Dr. Fields, you should leave it alone.
So, hang on. This girl has been creeping into hallways, spying on sex acts, but feels that opening the bag of Dr. Fields would be...
Yeah, it's hard to know where to draw the line when you're trying to solve a murder. Let's check out the fireplace.
There hasn't been a murder yet, of course.
Mantle. It knows the difference between fireplace and mantle. Isn't that brilliant?
Well, you see, with the time-passing mechanic, it does make sense that there are branching paths through the story, because it means that on repeated playthroughs, you can at least see something different each time.
Yes, exactly. It's sort of like...
What? How on earth... Excuse me. Didn't mean to interrupt you there, Lee, but...
I'm just, a highly observant adventurer who's played this game about 9 million times, but you know what? Doesn't matter.
You just...
Young lady, keep your hands off my belongings.
There was a small brass cannon on the mantelpiece. You looked at it, then you looked in it, and there was a key inside.
Yep, it rewards observation.
Was there something in the description of the cannon that...
Usually in adventure games, if an item is notable or highlighted, you know that you should examine it more closely. If I said look mantle, and it would say, the mantle's not remarkable, but instead it very explicitly described a cannon for me, which suggested to me that I should look at the canon more closely. But, this is cheating a bit, folks. We do want to get through a full playthrough, so I'm just, trying to find everything that there is to be found. So, would you like to describe the Colonel for us, Quinns?
Of course, Lee. The old Colonel seems uncharacteristically in an agitated state. His eyes dart around the room and he fidgets in his wheelchair, frowning. He watches you suspiciously.
Wow, okay. It must be because a random friend of his niece has just walked into his room uninvited. Hello, Colonel. How are you? Quit coming in my room, young lady. That's fair enough.
He's already had enough No. Leave my maid alone.
Okay. Well, I can just spoil it for you and let you know that at this point, the Colonel will not let us use this elevator that he owns, but it's going to become important later, obviously. You learn, the more you play adventure games, Quinns, to develop an eye for what will be important. It wouldn't be here. There wouldn't be an illuminated elevator in the corner of this room otherwise. And, when you play Destiny or games that are your kind of speed, you do know what's important and where you should go by the...
gentle highlighting.
Yes,
right.
Exactly. So, yep, the Colonel uses the elevator to travel. So, and we see this animation in his hand. What do you reckon that is, Quinns?
I would guess that's a cigar.
Let's see.
Oh, or a pipe.
The Colonel smokes a small, nasty-smelling cigar. All right, well, that's good to know, friends. What do you say we continue our exploration of this house? We're going to save early, save often. Let's call the game Lee and Quinns.
Oh.
Yeah, this would be a good memory of our time playing this game together. When I was a little girl, we'd always name the save games inside jokes and things after our friends. So, would you like to go downstairs or try to visit the attic here?
Ooh, an attic. So I've seen your lo-fi Let's Play of this, so I know there's nothing downstairs but rude.
Well, there's plenty of things
rude
downstairs.
relatives. So
Well,
let's go upstairs.
Okay, just not rule out the rude relatives as being worthy of investigation, because let's remind you, this is a murder mystery, and we're going to have to pay a lot of attention to all the people that are here. There's a doorway in front of us and another to the right. Let's check this door out.
This bodes well.
It's locked from the other side. Okay, hello.
So close.
No reply. Alright, so we'll just remember that for later. Adventure games are always asking you to remember things for later. Oh, looks like they keep the French maid in the attic. She's fixed up her room nicely. She's not in here at the moment, apparently. Look, Victrola. This game taught me what a Victrola is. Isn't it fun to learn vocabulary words from games?
One of the first games I ever played or reviewed rather, was Lemony Snicket's official game.
There was an official game of Lemony Snicket?
There was, but do you know what? It was a platformer for kids, and during each level, the collectibles were really long vocabulary words, which is a reference to the books.
I suppose it is. Did you read those books? Do you like them?
I didn't read them, but I did learn a couple of words like panjandrum. And Wunderkind.
Wunderkind.
Yeah,
you learned that from the video game.
Good words. Yeah, the Lemony Snicket books had a trope of where the narrator would occasionally just use extra long words and then explain them to the audience. So
we know that in this room, because we've played the first few scenes together as a group in the last Lo-Fi Let's Play, we know that Rudy and his sister Gloria, what do you remember, Quins, about Rudy and Gloria?
I remember Rudy and Gloria conspiring together, which did make me like them because...
Well, what did we hear about them so far in this game from Ethel?
Ooh.
See, you have to use your memory and perhaps your notebook.
I believe the grandmother had poor opinion of them.
Okay. Well, she did say that her nephew Rudy was a gambler and a womanizer, and that her niece Gloria was a casting couch cookie. So let's look at the holes here. Are we close enough? Yep.
I love
you
that.
Hear the eyes moving around.
Tiny
Yep.
animation.
Here they are. The schemer and gambler Rudy, and the wannabe actress Gloria Swansong, his sister.
They don't sound all bad.
Would you like to play the part of Gloria in this scene?
Sure.
Man, what a skinflint Uncle Henry is. What I could do with his dough.
Oh, it does pass with a click. I'm not just... How rich is he, darling?
Don't know for sure. At least a couple mil. It doesn't pass with a click, actually.
Oh, okay. If he's so rich, why doesn't he keep this place up better? It's such a dump. Smoke, smoke, smoke.
Yep. Very good. The old miser wouldn't part with a penny if he could help it. I wonder if Fifi's getting any of his money, though. Aha.
I think Fifi's going to get the money. I bet she's trying to. Anyway, why, she practically has him wound around her little finger. Darling, it's disgusting.
Speaking of disgusting, what are you going to do about Clarence?
Who's Clarence?
Well, we don't know yet.
Oh, him. I've decided to break up with Clarence. I have a new beau, a director no less. He's such a doll.
Ah, I see. Clarence isn't going to like it when you break it off. I don't trust him at all, the snake.
Oh, darling, that reminds me. Remember that little medical problem I had? I don't trust Wilbur to keep it quiet. It could ruin my career if it got out. I've got to talk to him.
You do that, my dear sister. As for me, I'm going to retire to my room for a while. Kiss, kiss.
Brother and sister.
Mm-hmm. They're Hollywood brother and sister.
It's kind of a Lannister twins vibe.
No, well, maybe a little bit. I don't think there's anything...
Not sexual, necessarily.
Creepy going on. Wait, we're not ready to leave yet. What could be going on in this room? Let's have a look. See if there's anything. Oh, the doctor is alone reading a magazine.
Dr. Fields looks...
Yes, Dr. Wilbur Fields. So already in that last scene, I know you were concentrating on doing a great job of your voice performance.
I was.
But we did learn that... so Gloria is the doctor's patient.
Mm-hmm.
So...
and she has a secret which can't be revealed.
Yep, and he's keeping her secret. And she has a new boyfriend, which might anger someone named Clarence, whom yet we don't know about. So you will have to sort of keep paying attention to the ways that everyone in this house sort of interconnects and intermingles. Let's see. Whoop, I'm not going to go back there. Let's have a look at the holes.
Get to see my favourite eye
Yeah,
animation.
the eye animation is very cute.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness, who are these people?
These two look incredibly troubling.
Yeah, red-faced and stern. Wow, look at that eye. It's
These guys look a lot more like the people who would populate my Amiga games when I was growing up.
So there were a lot of posh assholes in your games?
I've offered her a fair deal.
This is a lo-fi Let's Play. Gently.
I'm sorry, I got excited. I've offered her a fair deal many times for her property along the river, but the old biddy won't. She won't sell.
What could you possibly want with that swampy land anyway? It's no good for anybody.
Look at that smoke. Little do you know, Gertie, my dear. Let's just say that I happen to know it's worth a great deal, and I have several rich potential investors who would back me up on any plan to exploit it.
Well, tell me.
I've said too much already. You'll probably go and blab everything to Ethel. Look at the eyebrow raising.
I know, it's very, very well animated, I think.
Of all the nerve. Well, if I were Ethel, I wouldn't sell you any land either. You're no better than a low-down snake in the grass. I don't know what my daughter sees in you.
My affair with Gloria is none of your business.
Ah, this must be Clarence. This is Clarence.
Besides, she doesn't care what you think.
You're trying to exploit my daughter just like you try to exploit everyone else. Well, I've got the goods on you, mister. I know about your little racehorse scam. If you don't watch your P's and Q's, I'm going to tell him all about it.
Try it, lady.
I've had enough of this.
Up come the opera glasses.
Oh my goodness. Oh, and there she goes. So we've just seen Gertie and Clarence. So Clarence is the boyfriend of Gloria, but he doesn't know he's just about to be broken up with. And he's trying to buy some land from your friend Lillian's mother, Ethel.
I see.
And Gertie doesn't like him and knows about his racehorse scam. So things are starting to get intense around here, aren't they?
I feel like you're just in the eye of a hurricane here.
We absolutely are. Let's save. Leanne Quinn's. So we could go in here. There's a dining room. We could go and try to have a chat with Clarence. Or Gloria's in here. What do you think?
I'm curious about Clarence.
Let's go meet Mr. Clarence Sparrow.
I wouldn't mind seeing more of that outfit.
All right, let's check it out. We're going to do our best to do a good playthrough here. You've entered the parlor of the old mansion. Against the back wall, you noticed a sculpted marble bar, and in the corner, a parrot swings from its bird stand. Oh, Quinns, you're such a fan of parrots.
I love birds.
What do you say we check out the parrot before doing anything? Someone is in here.
Is that a butler?
Look, man, would you like a drink? Okay, so we're looking at Clarence is a dapper young man in his late 40s. From what you have gleaned, he has been the Colonel's attorney for some time and seems to know the rest of the group as well. His manner is a bit on the curt side, and you can sense a bit of sneakiness here. So, let's see if it's a butler. Aha! Would you like
Jeeves. Jeeves is the Colonel's imposing butler. Though you find him somewhat good-looking, he nonetheless gives off a disconcerting feeling of secretiveness. You've noticed that Jeeves generally keeps to himself and seems to talk in little more than monosyllables. You wonder about him.
Yes, I do wonder about him.
He has a murderer's face.
Excuse me. You attempt to talk to Jeeves. Oh, stone cold. I guess the butler doesn't have time for the company.
He's busy plotting murders. Look at those smoke rings are enormous.
Do you suspect Jeeves right now? I'm going to turn the speed just very slightly up.
I don't suspect Jeeves, but I do suspect that this parrot is going to be involved in a puzzle.
A colourful parrot swings merrily on its perch. Pretty Polly. Ah. The parrot cocks its head quizzically. So now we've learned we can get numerous responses from the parrot by talking to it. And when an adventure game provides for something like that, you can bet it's going to be relevant later. Are you excited?
I'm keen to see you do a puzzle. We've yet to have any puzzles just yet.
These are the puzzles.
Clarence sits there smoking a cigar. He doesn't answer. He's got no time for you, apparently. That's a big cigar.
So the Colonel has a small cigar. Clarence has a big cigar. Not everything is dynamic action and puzzles, Quinns. Sometimes it's just about observing, listening, interacting in your environment, and that's a lot of meat and satisfaction for some people.
Ask Clarence about Gloria. You're getting too personal here, young lady.
Well, the local guest just coming in and interrogating the lawyer, I guess that isn't likely to be acceptable.
Get out of here, Clarence.
Let's leave Clarence alone. Let's go see if Gloria wants to hang out.
The faster you increase the speed, the more I enjoy her walking animation.
You have found the Colonel's billiard room. Funny, he doesn't seem to be the kind of guy who would enjoy playing billiards. Wow, what a classy room. Oh, here's Jeeves. He's on his circuit. What are you carrying, Jeeves?
Look,
I'm just going to give it... He's busy doing his chores.
seems to have little muscles or something. Gloria Swansong, a beautiful platinum blonde, is the Colonel's other niece and Gertie's daughter. She seems so glamorous with her long feather boa, stunning jewels and lovely gown. You've been told that she's a successful actress in Hollywood, although you've never heard of her. Oh, Lee, I think that she is not really a good actress.
I don't know. That seems a little mean and judgmental, Quince. Do you think we should investigate a little further?
Absolutely.
What shall we discuss with Gloria Swansong, do you think, Quince?
Good. We could ask about... What's her opinion of the Colonel?
Let's find out. It appears that Gloria is more in the mood to listen to music than talk to you.
They're useless downstairs. You know,
Let's tell Gloria about what we heard with Clarence.
you can tell people about this.
Yeah? We're being very coldly ignored here. I don't know why we were even invited.
Well, to be fair, I'm not sure why you came along either. You seem like dead weight as far as your friend goes.
Well, wait till you see that I'm going to save the day. Why don't we have another good look around?
So you're an investigative journalist in this, aren't you?
Yeah, essentially. Yes.
I mean, it seems but isn't your character a journalist? Doesn't she have a notebook? And
Yeah, yes, we theoretically have a notebook. She's a student, actually, I think.
oh, a student. Okay.
Yeah, Lillian is her friend from college. Out the back door, a garden path encircles a small statue, then continues on through a lovely rose arbor. What do you say we... Oh, it's real creepy and dark out here. You shiver at the thought of venturing outside alone. Perhaps you ought to go back inside. Now, Quince, I'm going to explain that this actually sort of subverts some normal adventure game tropes, because usually when a game warns you that you're about to be hurt like that, it's true. But at this point in time, it's actually... I'm going to spoil it and say that we can walk around safely outside right now. We found a bell tower, a weathered fence, old plantation fields. There's some lightning in the background. It's very atmospheric. We do feel, a little bit frightened as we...
What I like is that it's given a sense of space and expanse to the outdoors by removing all of the kind of black border that was present whenever you were in a room. It really makes going outside feel like you're outside.
Yeah, absolutely. We can't enter this playhouse, but I don't know if our friends playing along with us at home can hear the audio, but there's some birds and bugs and lightning noises. Oops.
Very excitable chair.
Yeah, I got excited for a second. It's a swing. Ginger. Oh.
Oh. Well, at least you're not dead.
No, we're fine. How embarrassing.
Because this game does have secret insta-death stuff, doesn't it?
It sure does. So we've found the carriage house.
Old crates have been piled before one of the doors for obvious reasons. We'll never know.
No, we will never know. Let's enter this barn. How about? Laura's just, trying to make herself a good time out here in the bayou.
The parts of a decrepit carriage lie in the right corner, and a small rowboat named Minnow rests in the left corner.
So it's told us the things that we should sort of look at.
Do
you see? Oop! I didn't mean to walk out. Excuse me.
My adventure game senses tingling with this boat that's called Minnow.
Okay, shall we?
Unless it's a big red herring.
Oh, that's actually very clever.
I sometimes can do that.
Nothing of interest in the minnow.
But I feel like it'll be used
What
in
do
a
you
puzzle
see?
later.
Have a look around the carriage house and see what other objects you can see.
Well, there's that. What's that small blue thing on the table?
Let's find out.
Look, blue thing.
There is an oil can
Ooh.
on the table. So we didn't know what this object was that we were looking at, but by examining the thing it's sitting on, we have access now to the noun we need to use to retrieve it. So,
which is what people did before sort of mouse over.
Exactly.
Right?
Yep. I personally think adventure games were better before mouse over because they required us to interrogate our environment a lot. Look, carriage. You see parts of an old carriage?
I have done... what's the protagonist's name again?
Laura.
I have done almost exactly what Laura's done. Ooh, there's a crowbar here.
Yeah, we have found a crowbar inside the decrepit old carriage. So you mean you have when you're invited to visit people's families, you kind of wander around in the yard and take their things.
I'm just saying it's not an unrealistic game, but I only do this when I'm very drunk.
Oh, well.
If I'm really bored in a particular location, then I might take it upon myself to just explore and steal things.
Right, well, I do also like to walk around and pick things up. A dilapidated stable surrounded by an empty corral. You know, I am a little... You know what? Save early, save often. When you get a little spooked, you should always save. It's dark. There's a barn. Barn looks a little bit, you know, shrouded in darkness.
Patched over the roof there.
Yeah. Oh.
A horse!
Blaze. It's the Colonel's grand old horse.
Oh, look at his tail twitching.
Blaze must have once been a beautiful stallion, but now with many passing years, he has been reduced to an old, broken-down nag. Oh, let's pet him.
That sounds nice.
Pet the horse. Oh, isn't that nice? Oh, okay. Well, he doesn't seem to like that. Well, there's a saddle. Saddle is very heavy. You've never been fond of horseback riding. You know, let's leave the horse alone for now. Spoiler alert, you know, it's not a good idea to bother a horse. Quintin, you know how I feel about horses.
I know you're very scared of them.
You know, I wouldn't say scared is the right word.
I think terrified might be the
averse is polite.
Horrified.
Speaking of horror, we found ourselves at a family cemetery. How do you feel about this?
I don't feel one way or the other just yet. It needs some time. Ooh, now there's some thunder. Now I'm nervous.
Okay, well, let's enter the chapel.
I like that the noise of the thunder was a kind of someone pushing the Apple II sound chip to the max.
To the max, actually. You know, even when this was actually this was a DOS game. But even when I had it in its day, the speakers would kind of blip and chitter when the lightning was supposed to happen. Look, window. We've been summoned to the stained glass window.
The angles of this room are very unsettling. It's kind of a hexagon. I suppose it is a hexagon.
You're momentarily startled when a floorboard sags slightly as you step upon it.
Uh-oh.
So, you know, as you see, we did step in a very particular spot, but there was no other way to access the altar or to access the window that it told us was of interest in this room.
Now, Lee.
Yes.
Lee, bear with me.
Okay.
I'm no adventure game expert. But we have a crowbar.
Wow, Quinn's actually. I'm really impressed. What verb do you think we would use to use a crowbar?
I would, if it was me, I would type use crowbar.
Let's see if you're right. What do you want to do with the crowbar?
Pry.
Yep, pry is an adventure game classic verb. Whenever a crowbar is present, pry is the verb you want, and that's universal. And
I'll tell you what,
it applies to games that I had when I was a child.
This is not an easy game to play with a second language, is it?
No. I guess I might have the speed. Although the floorboard is loose. Oh, pry board with crowbar. Yeah, there you go. So now, as a guest in the...
You're now opening the floors of this
defacing
house.
the family chapel. This is not usual guest behavior. I'm beginning to suspect Laura is the murderer. There's a niche. Look in niche. You're not close enough.
Oh my goodness.
Are you spooked?
I just hope whatever's in this is as exciting as I think it might be.
Alright, let's see. An old leather-bound Bible.
Who hides a Bible on the floorboards?
After removing the brittle old Bible from the opening in the floorboards, you carefully open it. Written inside the front cover, you see...
I'm going to murder everybody.
No, it's actually a family tree of the Crouton family, which is the ancestors of the Dijons. Wow, interesting. Sarah Marie Crouton was the last of her
That
line.
means it's got passed. The Bible's been passed from family member to family member. Upon further searching through the old Bible, you notice a strange notation on the last page. It says...
Why do you wouldn't hide the Bible in the floor of the church.
Sarah, our end is near. The bell will ring solemnly on our final night, and then will sound no more. Sir Lancelot will forever salute us. Do not weep for us, my child. We will watch over you. We love you. Do not ever forget. Mama.
Wow,
That's
alright.
spooktacular.
With a sad heart, you tenderly close the fragile Bible and reverently place it back in its hiding place under the chapel's floorboards. So shall we visit the graveyard now that we've read that spooky...
What can it mean?
I don't know.
I feel like that is a poor reward for...
Well, we've seen a bell already, haven't we?
Yes.
What about Sir Lancelot? Does that mean anything to you? Have you been paying attention as have we been walking around? You don't think you've seen maybe any knights in armor?
There was a knight in armour in the hallway.
There you go. So maybe that information is a clue to a puzzle that we'll need later.
Crouton Dijon. This is an old family graveyard behind the little chapel. Set among the various family graves and monuments, you notice 2 large tombs.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, what?
Wow. Look, ghost. That looks like a wisp of mist from the bayou.
You sound very calmly. There's a ghost here. Don't go...
She pointed at the Crouton tomb, didn't she?
Did she?
Maybe. Man, let's get out of here.
Okay.
All right, shall we return to the, inside after we've, had our fun romping around the great outdoors of the Colonel's family home?
Something awful has happened.
Oh, no, I don't want to... No, not today, my friend. So there's a bell that was referenced in the note. Keep your eyes peeled for things that are callbacks. We can re-enter the house through this door. Let's try it. This appears to be the Colonel's study, as a large desk dominates the room. Upon the desk you notice a small glass case. At the back of the room, 2 large cabinets also catch your attention. You feel better now that you're back in the house. Yeah, Quinns was very scared.
There was a ghost.
Well, there's no ghosts now. You're just, you were invited here by your friend. So, do you remember her name, Quinns?
I do always feel better when Fifi is around.
Very good. You sometimes remember girls' names after you meet them. So shall we talk to Fifi? Fifi doesn't have time.
A lot of people in this mansion don't have time for idle chatter. Why were you all invited here, anyway?
Well, the Colonel's going to talk about his bequest. He's going to talk about who's getting what in terms of his will.
A little silver derringer mounted upon a blue...
Derringer.
Is it?
Yes.
Mounted upon a blue velvet backing.
Yeah, okay. So there's a gun on the desk. Can we take it?
Probably not.
Can't. No. All right. Well, there's also some glass cabinets back here. We should maybe... Fifi's dusting the cabinet. So she's showing us, actually, the geometry of the room by which we can access these things if we want to. Very good. Okay. Open case. Oh, the glass case is locked.
I don't like our chances with this last one.
This one is also locked. Well, thanks for pointing it out, game. We're going to continue looking around, shouldn't we?
I'm excited to interact with Sir Lancelot since I figured out that, this must be the library. You see many books of various and sundry topics displayed in the bookcases. Tucked into one wall, you notice an elevator shaft.
Where the elevator is not present, so whoever uses the elevator is not on this floor.
Now, Lee, I'm no adventure game expert, but would that elevator not be the same elevator we saw earlier in the Colonel's room?
Well, it is the same shaft, Quinns, but the elevator itself is not present.
Well,
have you ever tried to walk into an empty elevator shaft?
Does it kill you immediately?
Yes. Talk to Wilbur. Hi, Wilbur. Ah, so you're Lillian's friend, Laura, is it? You look very nice, Laura. Very nice indeed.
This is the worst holiday.
Dirty old man. Poor Laura. She's wearing a frilled collar and everything. Maybe he'll have a talk with us. Let's ask about Gloria, see if he'll tell the secret.
Gloria's a beautiful girl. A desirable girl.
That's not a nice thing to say about a patient.
She was a patient of mine once, though I haven't seen her for quite some time. Oh, Mr. Field, Dr. Fields.
Let's see, what is he holding? He's a pudgy man in his mid-50s, nervous, sweats profusely. Well, that's what I look for in a physician. How about you? If he ever samples his own wares, he has been the Colonel's personal physician. What's he reading? A magazine? He's reading a magazine, but you're not close enough to see it. All right, let's get close to the doctor.
Rudest.
Well, you have to be rude to solve mysteries. Pictures of racehorses, eh?
Now, we heard that the guy who dresses like a magician...
Clarence.
...has a thing with racehorses.
And so does Wilbur, apparently. So let's ask Wilbur about Clarence. Sometimes Clarence gets a bum rap. He's not as bad as some would have you think.
Oh, they have some kind of racehorse scam.
Yeah, let's see. Let's see what he thinks of Rudy. Rudy has no more morals than a rat. He has no right to pick on me. About Ethel. So we're starting to get to know the family better, Quinns, do you feel?
Ethel and Henry were never close. As a consequence, I never saw much of her. You know, maybe I don't mind Dr. Wilbur Fields. He doesn't.
At least he's candid, you know?
He's the only person in this house who seems to be having an alright time.
Our friend Lillian had some problems a while back. Wow, what kind of problems?
This is Lillian Prune.
Yeah.
Your friend.
Our friend who invited us here.
What kind of problems?
I don't know. Well, she's a flapper who smokes and drinks and speakeasy. Oh, of course he's a fan of Fifi.
We're all a fan of Fifi.
Yeah, I think she's rapidly shaping up to be your favourite, Quinns. Henry's got more life in him than you might think. Wow. Okay. Let's see here. So there's some parts of the house that you haven't yet seen, so we should continue to have a look at them.
Okay.
See who else could be around.
I love that sort of rapid totter across hallways.
Very elegant dining room. It looks like the Colonel has some class after all. So there's some other things going on there. Let's see. Let's just, finish having a look around. A lot of things. Ooh. Look, urn. Lovely piece, isn't it?
Could that contain some croutons?
Yeah, maybe. It could be a full salad. You never know. This house has a nice big kitchen.
Oh, this is the character I'm most excited to meet.
Right now you see Celie washing the dishes while Beauregard has found a warm spot by the stove.
Beauregard is a lovely name for a dog.
Let's before we interact with Celie, let's
interact with Beauregard.
Hi, Beauregard. He appears to be a very old and lazy bloodhound. His loose skin hangs in folds, and his long ears almost drag the ground. I know that feeling, Beauregard.
You sense that Beauregard must be the Colonel's beloved dog.
Oh, let's pet Beauregard.
Now, what about... Okay, says the nonplussed game. If we continue to pet Beauregard, are we liable to be murdered, like with the horse?
No, Beauregard is not going to hurt you. Beauregard is a loyal and trusted friend. Let's open this icebox.
Stop it.
I'm just helping myself. Lillian said to make myself at home. A leftover soup bone. Wonderful, in case we want to, use that for anything later. Hi, Celie. I gotta get these dishes done before the Colonel get mad. Oh, no. Go on with you now. Again, I apologize to anyone who's offended by this stereotype character. But I don't want to talk to her. But let's see what she knows about it. Don't want to talk about her.
Ask Celia about stereotypes.
Yes,
this
game does not. Yep. Well done. Moments of important clarity here on Lo-Fi Let's Plays today, friends. So let's have Laura continue. Don't you think the slats and the geography of this place is just beautiful?
You are done with Celia quite quickly there.
Well, she makes me a little uncomfortable because of the backwards look at history that she represents.
Well, let's move on to someone who we can all agree is pretty awesome, and that is Sir Lancelot.
Oh yeah, let's have a look at him.
Now, my, again, adventure game senses are tingling. I feel like if we touch this thing, it will kill it. Ooh, a change in camera angle. A very old suit of armour with one gloved hand holding a battle axe stands beside the stairway. Although it's well polished, all of its joints are completely rusted.
I see. Well,
but,
good thing we have...
Lee,
what?
We have oil.
We do? Wow, Quintin, where did we pick that up?
We picked it up in the video game.
So what should we oil?
Oil Lancelot. Well, oil armour. Oil arm. Why specifically the arm?
Well, Quintin, sometimes I have to teach you a lesson. Got a splitting headache, Laura? Yeah, it seems we do. So that was just, one of the ways that you can die unexpectedly in this game. Let's move well out of the way of the axe and oil the helmet.
It's getting hot in here.
So, what?
So what did that get us? Can we remove the helmet? Open helmet.
You carefully open the armor's visor and peek inside.
A small metal valve handle hanging by a hook inside the armor's helmet. You grab the valve handle.
A valve handle?
We haven't seen any valves.
No, we haven't. But we haven't explored the extent of the outdoors with its numerous sculpture gardens and potential fountains.
And potential valves.
Yes, and potential valves.
You also see an old yellowed note pasted to the inside of the helmet. Could this be from... Curious about the old note, you read it. It says, Bring! Our dearest daughter Sarah, we knew you would know to look in the armour. This war is terrible. We fear our end is near. In case you're not the only one to find this note, we won't give too much away. Use this valve handle with your favourite water nymph. Don't ever forget, we love you very much. Love forever, Papa and Mama.
Oh, wow, I see. Okay.
Now, the thing written in the Bible was also addressed to Sarah, wasn't it?
Yes, absolutely. So something seems to have happened to the family. Let's visit the parlour again, see if anything... No, still just Clarence drinking.
Could it be that the Colonel came into this property through ill means?
No, I think actually those are his relatives and that was his family tree.
Oh.
But, you could be right. Let's continue to pursue your line of thought. So some time has passed. We've been for a walk outside. Why don't we have a look and see what the other people in the house are up to? When Rudy stalks out of a room or Gertie stalks out of a room, it's sometimes wise to go and see...
Oh, no, hang on. The chandelier was shaking. That wouldn't be because someone's in the attic, would it?
No. It would be to warn you that if you stand directly under it, you can die by chandelier. But if you'd like me to check the attic, I will.
No, well...
Let's have a look.
Okay. I want to know what's in that locked room.
One of the merits of this game is that you do have to keep checking and following the movements of each character. And after several playthroughs, you sort of learn their movement and behavior patterns, and you learn where to find them. So, it's fitting that you're yawning, Quinns, because upon entering this room, we see that in the cozy guest room, in which Gloria and her daughter Gertie are sharing, at 8 p.m., Gertie has fallen asleep.
Act 2 has begun.
Act 2 has begun. How are you feeling for your first, long-form, lo-fi Let's Play adventure game experience, Quinns?
I feel like anything could happen.
Anything could happen.
It's like the witching hour.
What are your thoughts about the mysteries and the mechanics that you've observed so far?
Well, what I'm thinking mostly is that I find it very interesting that the game is, throwing so much information at us with regards to family members. What person A thinks of person B and the conspiracy between person C. There's this whole cast of characters, and yet currently all of the puzzles we've solved have been totally detached from these politics.
Well, you could, on your first playthrough of this game, simply follow your intuition and follow the various characters of the house around, and you'd come to a conclusion, and you might not have all the facts, so learning to explore... What? Does that look like something has fallen on the floor to you?
Ooh, what's that?
Look, floor?
Look, thing.
Looks like someone dropped a white handkerchief on the floor.
But that's in the entrance to this room, which we were just in.
Yeah, well, someone must have been nearby us. Who have we seen with a white handkerchief?
Someone was dabbing it to their face.
No, Quince.
No.
We did actually observe a lady. There's someone, Ethel, our friend Aline's mother, shaking her handkerchief and using it to hold her glass as she drinks.
Okay.
I've asked you to be sure and observe. That's the job that you're supposed to do for our friends in the Lo-Fi Let's Play audience. Help observe. I'm going to have to ask you to work a little harder at adventure gaming, Quinns.
Okay.
Do you remember what the defining feature of Gertie was?
Gertie was that she was...
We just read her description while we were in the room.
Oh, while she was asleep?
Yeah, it gave a description. She had her nose up in the air, and...
No, I was thinking about adventure games too hard.
Well, why don't we go back and have another look at her, shall we?
Okay. What? Did something happen in here? A small table is lying on its side near a wide open window.
Oh my goodness.
Is that cigar smoke you smell? Wait. Hold the phone.
Okay. Do you need a minute to do some logical deductions?
Stop the presses. Well, first off, I want to know... Well, two people had cigars. First off...
Do you remember their names?
The Colonel Dijon.
And his was a...
His was a small cigarillo.
Yeah.
And then also the magician-looking man. Clarence, whose name I will never remember. Had a large cigar. No, he didn't. It was the guy blowing smoke rings. It was the it was the attorney, the colonel's attorney. Curiously, you peer through the open window into darkness outside. Looking downward, you think you see something, but can't make out any details.
Oh my goodness! What do you think we see? Did she jump out the window?
Well, no, because there's a smell of cigar smoke in here, and
So
no...
someone was clearly in here.
Wait, can we find out more about this sort of whether that window leads... Walking outside on the second story veranda, but who could it be?
Oh no. Things are starting to get a little uneasy now. Okay, what would you like to look at?
I would like to go out of the window.
We're on the second floor. I think that would be a really bad idea.
Well, that would mean that it couldn't be the Colonel who came through the window, because he's stuck in a wheelchair.
When he uses an elevator.
Hmm.
But the doctor said the Colonel is more spry than you might think. Now, I'm not about to accuse the Colonel, who's invited all his family here to talk about the inheritance, but perhaps we should have a look around and see... Let's go downstairs and see if we can go out that door.
Okay. Wait, which door?
Well, we're going to try and look in the yard. Oh, this is our father, John Bow. I think his name is John, but tell us what he has to say, Quince.
He has to remind his daughter that an important tool a good detective uses, besides asking questions of people, is to selectively reveal information to them and listen to their response.
If you tell Gloria... So we've been asking so-and-so about so-and-so, but telling about the things that we're seeing and hearing in this house may selectively reveal some more information about...
So the purpose of all this eavesdropping in the corridors that I was wondering about is that is essentially an inventory item we've then got that you can then tell somebody about.
Information about the other characters does become an inventory item that changes the nature of your conversations with other characters about them.
Well,
Isn't that a fascinating mechanic?
It's something that certainly hasn't been used anywhere near enough.
Well, John Bow also says we can show the things that we found to other people, such as this handkerchief. Or our valve handle. Thanks, Daddy.
Oh, she has the avatar with the least work put into it.
Oh, well, it's because we rarely see her, okay? That's very harsh. She's just a nice young girl. Let's hurry outside.
She's a thief, and she did destroy a floorboard.
No, Gloria's still here.
The music in this room is great.
Ask Gloria about Ethel. Fine, you don't want to talk to me? I'm going to look outside and see if your mother has fallen out the window. Okay, so you see these are actually French doors in each room on this floor. What has happened?
Oh my god. This is the southwest corner of it.
Do you remember my lo-fi let's play of Mystery House?
Is that the one with the brown growth?
No, that is Crowley Manor.
It looks as if Gertie's accidentally fallen from her upstairs window and killed herself. Or was it an accident?
Wow, we'd better examine the body.
Or was it murder?
Gertie, what's the matter? She's dead, all right. You quickly examine Gertie's body and see that she died of a broken neck. You can see no clues as to what might have happened.
Well, let's go right back in and tell her daughter.
That's a very good thought, Quince. Let's see if perhaps, maybe it's not too late. All right, I know this music is very important to you, but... Mother? Oh no, it can't be. So, while her grand Victrola music plays on this little animated record, she runs outside and... Oh. You're very mean. There's nothing there.
What?
Wow.
What?
Could that be true?
I don't know. Let's go... Well,
Alright. Let's check it out. What could have happened? Where did it go? She's not around here.
I am so far out of my league.
Are you a little bit frightened now?
I think there's a murderer.
There might be.
Who maybe smokes a cigar.
It could just be a fastidious person cleaning up after accidents.
I think the Colonel's attorney might help him with legal matters, such as dealing with his will, in whatever form that might take.
Okay, well...
Full of conspiracy theories now. I'm like a pot.
Let's see what the doctor has to say. What are some of your theories so far?
I think that there's a murderer.
I think that's very observant. Okay, no one's...
Just gone. It's as if the guy... Well, could you call 911?
Well, maybe if there's a phone, there could be one in this room with all the weapons. Nope, don't see a phone. No one's around. Oh.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, it's my two suspects.
These are your two suspects. Funny thing that they were outside. Clarence and Dr. Wilbur. I can't go on with this any longer, he says, shaking his fist. Quiet. Let's go into the house to continue this discussion. All right? Let's try to get them to a place where we can actually spy on them through the portrait holes. There's no privacy here either.
Oh, but did you not just spook them out of a room that you could have... No.
This room does not actually have... We're only the central rooms, not the left rooms. You know, like, so in this room...
They go into the dining room.
There are holes in the dining room.
Oh.
Why don't we find out what's going on?
Whoa.
You saw that as well, right?
This
a figure
is,
going by.
This is like the Ring.
All right, you need to keep calm because a lo-fi Let's Play is meant to be a soothing and safe place for me and my adventure game friends. And I know that you're new to this scene, Quins, but I'd really like you to respect the gentle atmosphere and the spirit of play that we've cultivated here at Rock, Paper, Shotgun. Do you know anything about Rock, Paper, Shotgun?
No.
Why? You don't read it?
But why did you pick such an exciting game then? If these are supposedly lo-fi Let's Plays.
Well, I thought maybe you'd be a PC, at least competent, and be able to, express your enthusiasm in a mature way. Let's discuss this later. Someone could be eavesdropping on us. Go ahead.
It's just not right. We've got to tell him about it. So this is the doctor and the attorney.
Yep. No, it'll work out, Wilbur. I've got some plans.
How are you going to replace that $100,000 we took from Henry? Where would you get that kind of money?
I know, people. I can do it. Trust me. I don't trust this guy. These are the two biggest creepers in the whole game.
Yeah, but at least the doctor is being honest. Why were we so stupid as to buy into a racehorse anyway? And to use Henry's money? We should have known better.
Wow, scandal. It would have worked out, Wilbur. It wasn't our fault that horse broke his leg.
It's all becoming clear to me now.
What exactly?
All I can say, Clarence, is you'd better do something fast. Because if you don't, I'm fessing up.
Ooh, we have another entanglement occurring. I'll handle it, Wilbur. Just don't be stupid and say something. I gotta go. Remember, don't say nothing. Look at his eyes.
It's furious.
This is maybe a little scary for Lo-Fi Let's Plays, but that's why it's our special
Halloween
long-form playthrough. Halloween present to our friends. Alright, so we've witnessed that. So, do you think you remember what everyone's issues with each other are?
No.
So Ethel had a handkerchief.
Yes.
Gertie was in an argument with Clarence. Gertie's son and daughter are Rudy and Gloria.
Okay.
Gloria was dating Clarence, but now she wants to break up with him.
Mm-hmm.
The doctor is keeping a secret about Gloria.
Yes.
The doctor and Clarence have a horse racing scam.
Yeah.
The colonel's having an affair with the maid.
Yeah.
And I think that brings us up to speed. And the maid, this other housekeeper, is a racist stereotype. So those are the things we have to worry about. And Jeeves is just on the ball right now, delivering biscuits to everybody. Comes 8:30 now. It's a good hour. Now, child. It ain't no use getting yourself upset. Things have a way of working themselves out.
I don't know, Seeley, but it just doesn't seem right. Oh, hi, Laura.
Hi, remember me, your friend that you invited?
And then she just... Oh, God, that's... Looks like a very stressed animation there of her
She's
making
making cornbread, looks like. Rolling pin. What is she rolling? Looks like Seeley is rolling out bread.
So every conversation in this game has you sort of in media res a conversation about scandal.
Yeah.
It's exhausting.
Yeah, it is. Well, it is very intense murder mystery atmosphere. So who are your favorite characters so far?
I'll be honest, I'm a fan of anybody who's being relatively straightforward. The angry grandmother upstairs, Lillian's mother, the doctor, because at least, even though he's a pervert, we know he's a pervert, and that seems quite straightforward. Or Celia here, because she is simple through no fault of her own.
Yeah, she's just, very straightforward. I like Ethel as well, actually. Let's see. Hi, Lillian. What did you want, Laura? Well, maybe to hang out.
I'm your friend.
Yeah.
Why?
Let's tell her we saw a dead body outside. That can't be true, Laura. I'll go see.
And she also goes off.
Yeah, she's also going to come back and accuse us of lying. Oh, my goodness. A short time later. Oh, you're just imagining things, Laura. Quinns, what do you think the chances are that we're just imagining things?
I think they're pretty low, and I'm wondering about where I would hide a body.
Me too.
And I've got to think about the barn outside, you know?
Yeah. Celia, maybe you can tell us something. She still doesn't trust us, being very private, nothing to say. We saw Fifi. As long as she do her work, things is fine. Okay, so she's not interested in gossiping with us. Trustworthy housekeeper. She's so trustworthy, it's almost like she's magical.
Very loud door.
Sorry about the loud door, everyone. So we're at the northeast corner of the house, right beside the kitchen. I see a doghouse and a cellar door. All right, well, Beauregard's in the doghouse.
We haven't been to the cellar yet.
No, we haven't. Look, bowl. Remember we got a soup bone?
Yeah, we did, but why would we give it to him?
Well, because it might make him come out of the doghouse. And then we can look in. And, plausibly, we peer into the dark interior of the doghouse and look around. What's this? Why, it looks like a necklace of small amethyst and quartz stones. Beauregard must have found it someplace and brought it here. Quickly grab it and take it with you. Well, at least I'm getting some kind of souvenir from this terrible family vacation, right?
That's good. I would cut our losses and stop now.
Yeah, I would too, but unfortunately we've promised the friends a full playthrough, so
Okay.
let's open the cellar. Not close enough, alright? Try it now. This game is very particular. Wow. Can enter the cellar at this point in
No
time.
good will come of this.
This must be the butler's room. Actually, it's not too bad, considering it's down in the cellar. Oh,
What if the hired help here do have really nice rooms?
yeah, Jeeves lives in the basement and Fifi lives in the attic. He must be trying to take a nap.
What's that on his bedside table?
Let's see. A box of crackers.
But we can give that to our parrot friend.
Very thoughtful, Quinns. I love how you're always thinking of the animals. Let's take the crackers. You ask Jeeves if you can have the crackers. He nods his head in approval. Okay. I'm sure he's just trying to sleep. I deserve a little peace and quiet in my own room. Let's tell him. We saw a dead body, dude.
Well, tell him about Fifi.
Yeah. Kindly leave my room. Jeeves, we saw the maid doing things that she shouldn't be doing. Please leave.
Well,
Well,
we did our best.
I guess we can't use the toilet. That's Jeeves' toilet. If you need to use one, go upstairs. Alright, well, rather than continue to rifle around the
You are
butler's
the
room.
worst, Lee.
You really are a snoop, Laura. There's nothing here for you. Alright, okay, I'm fully scolded and ashamed. Let's leave. We got the free crackers out of it.
I don't think the butler did it.
You don't think the butler did it?
No, because who would commit a murder and then go have a nap?
Well, only a sociopath. So, you know how they all are.
It'll be fine, Miss Lillian.
No
You'll see-
accents.
That was not an accent. It's not even
Oh my
within
goodness.
spitting distance of an accent.
Okay. Let's see. What I found this necklace. Celie. My necklace. I was wondering where it got to. Well, Missy Laura, thank you. Okay.
Oh, we're in with the chef now.
Yeah. You can give it over to her. Oh,
If I was
we've
going to
already given
spend
it to her.
any amount of time in this house, the cook is the one I would want to make friends with.
I'm busy. Go on with you now.
Imagine it, you know, if you just wanted a meal, you could just ask her. It'd be great.
Now will she tell us things about people? No opinion.
Well, it's no opinion.
No, I think she meant opinion.
Okay.
She's just the maid, that's all.
Did we get anything out of giving this girl her necklace back?
Well, I think now we'll be on better terms. It's not manners. It's not good manners to talk about someone right in front of them. So yeah, now I think we'll have an opportunity to maybe chat with her later, I believe. Let's see, what's going on? If I were Clarence, where do you think I would have wandered after this argument? Oh, he had to go and talk to Gloria, I bet. He doesn't know that he's about to be broken up with. Usually it's, rather than walking into rooms, because then you'll only get part of the story, it's best to preemptively eavesdrop a lot of the time if you're aiming for a really good playthrough of this. Let's have a look.
So there are multiple different kinds of playthroughs?
Oh, yeah. You'll see when we get to the end. We're doing a very good one so far, by the way.
Oh.
Because I am so knowledgeable.
Oh, this is going to be great.
It's 8:45.
I'm very excited to have this punk have his heart broken. You seem distant, babe. What's the matter?
Well, darling, this is very difficult.
Look at them puffing away. What's difficult?
Smoking heavily is damaging our lungs, and we should break up so that we don't cause each other. You and I want to end it.
That's quite straightforward, to the point.
Yeah, I admire her honesty.
She knows what she wants.
Yeah, that's it. At least she's telling him the truth.
Are you joking or something? That's ridiculous. Someone broke up with me by saying, I want to do this. I would respect
darling,
that.
I'm not joking. I have a new beau. He's a director. Oh, yeah?
Yeah, she's losing points now. Yeah, well, I have to think about this.
What's there to think about, bro? She wants to break up with you.
See you around, sweetheart.
Well, that's passive-aggressive and diminishing and a bit sexist. Okay, well, that was a sad story, isn't it? Well, why don't we see what everyone else is doing? We haven't seen, maybe we should see what's happening upstairs now.
Everyone in this house is miserable.
Yeah, it is a very sad state of affairs, isn't it? I do feel sort of bad for the family, because things are clearly quite tough, and one of them is already dead, actually, so...
It's tough times.
Yeah, definitely tough times.
On account of the death rate.
Oh, we should try... Oh my goodness. Leave me alone, you cad. Wow.
Oh, this guy's a charmer.
Well, after he tried to commit some assault on the maid, let's ask him about her. Ask Rudy about Fifi.
I know what she's after. I've got her completely pegged.
Yeah, you're in charge of Rudy's voice acting from now on, Quinns.
He wishes he had her completely pegged.
Whoa.
Used to advantage.
If a person were smart. Wow, that's a bleak response.
What does that mean? How could you... I don't understand. Am I too innocent? How could you...
You might be, yeah. What does he want?
Uncle Henry and I don't always agree on the proper way which one should leave their life, but he'll soon come around.
Okay. Well, Rudy...
I know. I've always been a little leery of her. I'm not sure she's all there, if you know what I mean. Which one's Lillian? The daughter?
Our friends, Lillian.
The
yeah.
flapper.
Yeah, Rudy's being very straightforward with us. Does this mean you're gonna... He's like the first one to have an honest adult conversation with us and not creep on us.
Aunt Ethel's nothing but an embarrassment to the family. What did Aunt Ethel do wrong?
Well, we don't know yet. She seems to be drinking a lot.
The family embarrasses itself.
Yeah, really. We'd all be much better off if Uncle would get rid of him.
Is there anyone Rudy likes?
His sister Gloria, probably. Don't want to go near that old lech. Thanks for the warning, Rudy. Ask Rudy about himself. Tell us about yourself, Rudy. No, not discussing myself with you.
I was just thinking, what a nice feature that you could have characters discuss themselves.
But some of them don't like to. What about his sister Gloria? My sister's a swell girl, and I don't like to have people say otherwise. Well, that's nice, isn't it?
I suppose there was a threat there, Lee.
There was a subtle threat. Well, I didn't... tell Rudy we think Gloria is swell. Mind your own business about my sister. Okay, Rudy, sorry about that. Yeah, it's interesting. He did just kind of threaten us. I'd like to leave that man alone. Let's have a look now. See what Mr. Colonel Dijon is up to at the moment.
He's not here.
And the elevator is...
downstairs.
Oh my goodness.
Means he's gone downstairs.
Well, you know what that means.
It's time to take the key out of his cannon.
Yeah! I wonder if that's the key to the attic.
Oh my goodness. Do you think it could be? I've never said my goodness this many times before. Let's go.
Where did I go? Oh, I walked into the wrong corner.
You were hiding behind the cupboard.
I did, actually, yeah. Do you want to see if there's anything in the attic just now?
Yes.
All right, let's find out.
Excited
I should save the game because I am a little frightened of what could happen. So now at each time that we've seen the time changing, there could have been other things going on, I think. Unlock door. You don't have the key that unlocks this door.
Oh.
Wonder what it's the key to.
What
Hey, Fifi's here. Would you like to read?
Fifi is the Colonel's pretty French maid. You surmise that she is probably very apt in her duties, whatever they may be.
Ho ho.
Fifi is young, blonde, and sexy. Although she seems to have a vivacious personality, you can sense a certain cunning underneath it all. Yeah, Fifi's probably my favourite character.
Yeah, and she does seem pretty interesting.
She has a name that's easy to remember.
Yep, that's a good selling point for you.
She has...
I love working for Henri. He is a wonderful boss.
She has character motivation, which is easy for me to understand.
Which is what?
She probably wants the Colonel's money.
She doesn't like Clarence. I mean, what if she genuinely cares for him? Rudy is nothing but trouble. Tell us that Lillian's ignoring us and we want to make friends with Fifi instead. Excusez-moi, mademoiselle, but I do not want to talk about her. Okay? Why not? Ask about Lillian. What's the deal? I do not like to talk, but Mademoiselle Prune does not like me. She always gives me the dirty looks. Aw, well, nobody likes you, Fifi.
I like Fifi. Is that a whip on her bed?
It's the shadow of her bed frame.
Oh, okay.
Celie is always sticking in her nose where it doesn't belong. Wow, so she's very opinionated as well. Is there anyone else you'd like to ask Fifi about right about now?
No, but I have realised what the key might be. The key to...
What might it be the key to?
all of the cabinets in the weapon room downstairs.
Well, it could be, yeah.
What if it's the key to the little derringer in the glass case?
Oh yeah, why don't we go and look? How about? It could be. You know, it would have probably told us that a lock was present on the glass case. You know, every time I walk downstairs, I like to save the game, because standing right here could bring the wrath of the chandelier down on us at any time, believe it or not. So it's just important lesson to remember. Let's walk underneath and see. Nope, nothing yet. We got lucky that time.
Oh, that's very unsettling.
Yeah, it is.
You know, I always liked horror games that rather than having triggers that are immediate, that might trigger, given, you know, like a certain stimulus.
And this game does have many of those might triggers. Act 3, it's 9 p.m. We discover Dr. Wilbur in the study.
But the Colonel's not here.
No, and the elevator's not here either, so he might have gone down and come back up.
Wait, does that mean or the elevator goes to the attic?
Yes, that's actually quite possible.
So you're Lillian's friend Laura, is it?
Oh, we've already spoken about this. This is
Dirty old man.
This is very unsettling. Does anyone care that we found a dead body? Oh no. Oh, so everyone goes to look, and we then find out that nobody believes us, and they think we're just seeing things. This doesn't really bode well, does it?
No. He's very rotund, is the doctor.
Crazy girl. Gertie's not there. Alright, fine. Well, I'm going to take Quintin's advice and try to unlock the cabinets. Let's see. What could be going on in this room?
The tension. The incredible tension.
2 large cabinets.
Open cabinet.
Oh, carefully open the glass door of the cabinet and look inside. Stored within it. So the reason we couldn't open this before was because I called it a case, not because it was locked, unfortunately. This case is locked. Take rifle. I'd like a rifle. I don't know how to use a rifle. Anyway, they're not loaded.
The rhino head is also very ominous. I meant to mention that.
Yeah, let's have a look at that. An Australian boomerang, a steel cutlass, a pearl-handled dagger, a mace, and an antique crossbow. That's quite a weapons collection.
It's basically the entire inventory of an FPS protagonist.
This game doesn't understand rhinoceros.
Look, rhino.
A huge rhino head hangs above the hot fireplace. 2 African spears cross beneath it. I want something. You wouldn't know how to use a spear, okay?
But a tiny derringer is a weapon for a girl.
You can't. You don't have the key.
Ah, so closely.
So close, darling. I'm so sorry. Let's see.
What other locked...
Something looks wrong here. A chair has been knocked over, and there are signs of a struggle on the floor.
There's something on the floor there.
There's a couple of things on the floor.
Oh.
So, Wilbur has been missing. What do you think has happened to him?
He's probably dead. But You know, just for a detective's daughter, you'd think, seeing as you were in the next room, you'd have heard a chair being knocked over.
Unless it's a very quiet killer. Who had something against the doctor, Quinns? Do you think you can do that deductive work?
The girl who was keeping a secret. He gave her a medical examination, but
That's
it could
Gloria, who's a swell girl, because her brother is...
Rudy.
That's right. So Gloria was angry at Wilbur, but who else? Something about a horse?
Oh yes, his business partner. It wasn't Rudy. It was the other man.
You call him the magician, but he's a lawyer.
Yes, no, I meant...
And it was Gloria's old boyfriend.
Yes.
You're doing a great job of this, Quinns. You're right, his name is Clarence. Very good.
It is actually Rudy who I consider the magician.
Oh, well, I see.
Because he's dressed.
Because he has a black tuxedo. So there's
Yeah.
a fireplace poker. You see some small pink feathers scattered on the floor.
Pink feathers? But, okay, well, that would imply the boa.
Yes, who have we seen dressed in pink feathers? Do you remember her name?
Rudy's sister.
Gloria.
Gloria.
Gloria. Okay, let's take this poker.
What is Glorian's now ex called? Clarence.
Clarence, yeah.
Good. And he's the attorney.
You see no sense in carrying around a bunch of feathers, but let's make sure that we look at them. You wonder how the small pink feathers got on the floor. They look like they may have come from a pillow, or...
A feather boa. Yeah, I feel less clever for cracking that particular puzzle now. Isn't that the worst in a game where you figure something out and then the game tells you immediately?
Yeah, wow. But, you know, the game wants to have a system by which it can ensure you observed things. So that elevator's been moving around quite a lot. I want to know where the colonel is. What do you say we go and look?
Okay.
Are you feeling a little bit frightened and overwhelmed yet by the deaths?
I'm feeling pretty frightened and overwhelmed by my inability to remember everyone's names.
Well, that's pretty normal for you.
Yeah.
Let's sneak in and see what we can see. So we know that there's no one in here because Gertie has died. But if we look into the colonel's room...
Slowly but surely, I will have no problem with the names in this game because everyone will be
What?
dead.
Oh my goodness!
He's disabled.
He just walked to the fireplace and tended it with a poker and returned to his wheelchair. Wow, I guess he pretends to be more disabled than he is, which is what the doctor told us before he died.
And there was the smell of cigar smoke in the woman who's dead's room.
Wow, it's almost like the game is trying to tell us that the colonel is the killer for some reason.
But that can't be, because in a murder mystery, it's never the person who is made obvious.
That's right.
Mysteries.
Okay, well, why don't we just have a look around, see what else has been going on in these passages? God.
The colonel hasn't made his bequest yet.
Yeah, I know. I want to go to the meeting. Oh. What do you see?
Okay, a crowbar?
We already have a crowbar. Why would there be
Another crowbar?
Let's look on the floor. Someone has left an old cane behind.
There was a cane belonging to...
Gertie had a cane. Perhaps the colonel had a cane because he can actually walk. So all signs are pointing to the colonel at this point.
I'm more unsettled by this because it tells us that someone else comes into these corridors, which would lead to the very awkward situation that you slide open the mirror or the cupboard
And someone could be actually waiting for you in there at that point.
That's very scary.
It is. Wow. So now, Fifi's here. Oh,
She just sat staring at you like a...
she's listening to her victual. She's listening to her victual, and she's reading a book.
Okay.
There's that decanter. Where have we seen that before? Looks like fine cognac. That was downstairs in the parlor before. So,
Oh, I can't deal with it.
what can't you deal with?
Just all these clues shifting around constantly.
Well, you know, again, this is an efficient playthrough by an experienced player. So you should not feel too bad about it. Because I've actually, played this game many times, and, with the help of some resources and some, previous experience, I've sort of decided on an optimal route for us to play this through together in. But if I wasn't doing it, what types of things would be on your mind right now?
Well, I suppose I'd be... getting frustrated and trying to show clues and talk about deaths with everybody, but it looks like the game doesn't reward that at all.
Well, we haven't really showed that much to everybody, so let's see. It did reward it. Everybody always looks and tells us we're crazy. So now it's 9:15. It's, getting into the proper, the part of the evening.
9:15 is famously the witching hour.
Mm-hmm.
Who is this so-called director that Gloria's seeing now? Why, I ought to punch his lights out for getting between me and my gal.
Gloria was never your gal. Just because she went out with you a couple of times, you thought you owned her.
Shots fired.
Well, I got news for you, buddy. My sister doesn't need to settle for the likes of you. As a matter of fact, you were nothing but a mere dalliance for her.
Dalliance? Ha! Why, you're the one who can't make a commitment to anyone. You're just trying to sink Gloria down to your lowly level.
You ain't good enough to kiss the ground she walks on. You're nothing but a low-class jerk. Da-da-da.
Quit butting in between me and Gloria. This is none of your business. I'll handle it the way I want, and I won't be asking your permission.
I'm warning you, Jack. Oh, look at the raised fist. If I see you near my sister again, I'll cut you up in little pieces and feed them to the dog. Got it?
Rudy makes a lot of threats, don't you think?
There he goes. He's very frightening.
He sure feels very strongly about his sister. All the guy asked was who this director was.
Yeah, exactly. Well, okay.
So Rudy makes threats, the attorney smokes, the colonel lies about his disability.
Let's go and see and have a talk about everything going on here. Well, Wilbur's gone. Oh, Clarence is having a nap.
Oh, Clarence, it's not safe to sleep, buddy.
Okay, it looks like he's so well asleep that maybe we could go through his stuff. There's nothing of interest in the small desk. All right, okay. And the decanter and the glasses that Rudy was enjoying were gone. Everything seems to move around, doesn't it?
I feel like people will have made sort of exaggerated timelines for this game, which show where all the characters moving between different rooms at different times.
All right, so do you want to take another walk outside, see what's going on?
Outside it has less people, which means less names for me to remember. So, yes.
There could be, we found out where Fifi lives, in the attic, and we found out where Jeeves lives, in the basement, but we haven't found a room for our friend Celie yet.
We also haven't found a use for this key.
No, we haven't. Or our valve handle.
Oh, the good old valve handle. Could this be the place to use a handle? Turn crank. Classic. Look in bucket.
Barely holds water. Okay, well that's nice, but I'm not really interested in that right now, so let's let that barrel plummet out of sight. Continue to wander around the plantation grounds. A quaint gazebo, some tall hedges to the north. Is this clearing your conscience a little bit?
Well, yes, it's just me and the sky. It reminds me of playing Loom.
Private little garden surrounded by a large hedge. I wonder why. So what would be, again, your instincts now? If you were playing this alone, what would you be trying to do and to find?
I wouldn't be going in this walled garden because it's clearly a murder garden.
A murder garden? Perhaps at one time this was someone's place of quiet contemplation. And friend, adventure games can be... No, you don't look convinced.
No, this is people... Children were killed. A popular feature of turn of the century plantations was actually a murder garden where murders can happen in peace. Not a lot of people know that. But it was I can see the hole in that stone where the crank goes.
Oh, can you?
Yes. Look, it's a tiny yellow thing just at the base of the dancing statue.
Okay. Are you sure?
Insert crank.
You don't have it. Oh, we don't have a crank.
Insert handle.
Handle. That is not understood.
Oh, maybe I was wrong. My adventure game instincts have failed me again.
That is not understood. Yeah, what are we holding? Always good to do an inventory.
7 crackers.
7 crackers. We should go and feed a parrot. But first, I did sort of see a little cabin.
This game started at 7 o'clock, right?
And it's now 9:45.
When was dinner?
When we got here.
Oh, okay.
There's a poor but clean shack here at the edge of the old sugarcane fields. Nearby you see a small chicken coop. I wonder who lives here.
Well, oh no. Is it really Celia?
Nice to see you again, Missy Laura. Won't you come in? So yeah, because we gave her a necklace, we're now allowed to visit her and spend some time here. Celia's place looks quite cozy and comfortable. She's managed to make a home out of a little shack. That's very patronizing. Well, anyway, here comes Celia. If you want, you can sit a spell and we'll visit. Okay, I'd like to visit. Yay! This is a lovely scene, isn't it? I kind of like that you can be invited into Celia's home and sit at her table and ask her about Lillian. You don't get an Ask Celia.
Oh, some visitor this is.
She's looking right at us. Poor Miss Lillian. That girl's had her troubles. I don't want to talk too much, but her daddy's suicide hit the poor little thing hard, and then to have her mama care more about her liquor than her own daughter. Oh, it was sad, all right. Oh, Celia seems willing to confide in us because we gave her that jeweled necklace. Colonel Henry's a nice enough man. All he wants is to be left alone. What about Rudy? I see nothing but trouble with him. He fritters away his life in those drinking establishments, takes up with all kinds of women, and spends all his money at the gambling tables. Well, I hear he's up to his ears in gambling debts. So when we're talking about motives here...
Wait, Rudy?
Yeah.
Well, that means Rudy's in debt, and so is Clarence, and so is the Doctor.
Yeah, well,
They're
everyone...
all in the hole.
Clarence has also taken lots of Henry's money, and Celia about Ethel. Most of Miss Ethel's trouble started when her husband killed himself about 17 years ago. Lord, that was a messy business. After that, she sort of fell apart. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, thanks, Celia, for the candid information and the lovely visit. But I'm going to take this from your table.
Take care.
Well, we love to go into the mansion staff's private rooms and take food from them, because that's what you do when you're invited as a friend to a family reunion. She said that I could have a juicy-looking carrot. That's nice.
I'm going to apply some detective instincts while you're stealing carrots. Who has something to gain from the death of is it Gloria's mum?
Gertie.
Yeah.
Well, Gertie was in an argument with Clarence. Rudy and Gloria would probably not kill their mother, would they?
No.
What do you think of them?
But I mean, you wouldn't kill someone just for an argument, would you?
Well, no. Ideally, you wouldn't. But a lot of these people do not actually seem very well adjusted. So we know Lillian actually may be troubled, and Ethel has a drinking problem. Lillian's mother. So there are all kinds of motives that are being established right now. But, so far, we don't know who could be doing what and who has a motive to do what. So we're heading back. Now that we found a carrot, why don't we go to the barn?
So you're telling me that the horse won't kill us now?
Well, we could give it a carrot, see what happens.
Okay. If it's anything like giving the dog a bone, it will end in great riches.
We have a cane right now. See what we can do. Stand over here, shall we? Let's pull the rope with the cane, friends. Reaching up. Oh, the bell's too rusted to move. What do you think we should do about that?
We can oil it.
Whoa. Well, Ethel is now on a drunk bender, wandering around the bayou.
Is that Ethel's drunk music?
Yeah, it is actually. My sister sings this song to me a lot. I don't know why. It can't be for personal reasons.
Oil bell.
May have loosened it.
It's
Right.
almost as good as when you oiled the helmet.
Almost. It's a good thing that we weren't standing directly under it. We would have died, friends and Quins, if we had been standing directly under it. So what could have been the merit in doing that? Some sort of old metal crank. So we found a valve handle inside the armor and a crank on the bell. This must have something to do with the history of the,
Oh,
Ethel is wandering
she's
around
doing
again.
laps.
Poor lady.
We've all been there.
We have. That's, when I party too hard, I like to go around the... Oops, I didn't want to come in here. When I party too hard, I wander in circles around the bayou. I mean, I feel like that's probably what Quinns did at uni.
That is an apt description of what I did.
So these paths are actually, they can be a little bit hard to follow.
Where are we aiming for, Lee?
I want to go to that barn.
Oh, here you go.
The oops. Yep. Okay.
That was it.
Oh. No, I don't want to go to the south edge of the plantation. These areas can be, Oh, Ethel is still drunkenly running around.
It's a lot like, the Slender Man freeway game. But with...
Oh, this is the carriage house, unfortunately. The barn is nearby, though.
I want to say you go left to the barn.
I can see it in the distance. The owl is on his nightly rodent patrol. He pays little attention to you. What do you think happens if we walk into the swamp?
Can you really do that?
You can, and you will die by crocodile. Oh, no.
Well, oh no, what's happened to Wilbur? Someone must have hit him over the head and killed him. Nervously, you look behind you, but there's no one there.
How did he get here? Wow.
With trembling hands, you search Wilbur's body and confirm your suspicions that he died by a tremendous blow to the head, probably caused from a fire poker, right?
Yeah, it sounds like we're not only nosy girl and bad house guest, but also forensic expert. What's this? Why, it's Wilbur's monocle. Thinking it might come in handy, you take it with you. Okay? Maybe we could use it to magnify some objects in our investigations, such as this handkerchief we found. Look, handkerchief with monocle.
You carefully examine the white handkerchief using Wilbur's monocle, much like a magnifying glass. Why? What's this? You see a small EP in one corner of the white lace trim.
Who do we know by the name of, or initials of EP, Quinns? Ethel Prune, very good.
Yes.
Wow, you were right. But, we already did surmise that this handkerchief belonged to Ethel because we've seen her carrying it. Now we have some proof. This was the handkerchief, let's recall, that was found outside of poor Gertie's bedroom. Let's feed the carrot to Blaze. He then gently takes it into his mouth and eats it. He looks at you and whinnies softly, as if in friendship. So, we do bribe the help and the animals in this game. Aw, you gently stroke Blaze's soft nose. He seems to like that. That's very sweet. Let's save the game. I am a bit skittish about horses, aren't you?
No.
Why aren't you?
Well, a horse doesn't want to hurt you.
If you played a lot of adventure games, you'd know.
Well, that is true.
Horses can kill you. Most of the things that I've learned about the world, I learned from adventure games.
I went pony trekking when I was a kid once.
We did pick up a lantern, by the way, while we were thinking about horses. You went pony trekking.
When I was really small, and
what is pony trekking?
It's kind of like horseback riding, but someone sort of just walks alongside your horse and leads them by the nose. Anyway, this big horse I was on stepped on the foot of the girl I was with, and
see, that happens. Horses are very destructive.
And so I was sat there tottering on this horse.
Oh, I'm sorry, I have to interrupt your story. We entered the playhouse, a leaky old playhouse.
Was this what the key opened? Oh my God, Laura, what are you doing in there?
Lillian, where Laura?
That's what
I know that women's names are very, very challenging, but...
This is incredibly creepy.
And then he said, wow, what is happening in here? This is a bit odd. Your friend seems to be reading a book to those old dolls.
Did she grow up here?
She did. She came here when she was little. Hi, Lillian. Huh? What are you doing here, Laura? Lillian, what are you doing here?
It would appear that Lillian is more interested in reading a book to some old dolls than talking to you. It would probably be best to leave her alone right now.
Wow.
This is the worst holiday ever.
Okay.
Do you want to come with me to my uncle, granddad?
So far, a couple of people are dead. Our friend is talking to dolls. We found some cranks and valve handles and bells inside of armors and things. And
It's not easy
my
to.
friend's mom is stumbling around drunk in the bayou. She could die.
She could be eaten by a crocodile. I've heard that's what happens. I mean, it's basically the plot of Resident Evil, isn't it?
In what way?
Well, it's a spooky old mansion. People start showing up dead. There's all kinds of creepy things and implications of, ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
There's people who, for one reason or another, sound like they're drunk.
I think everybody's drunk. I mean, if you were stuck in this mansion all night till midnight and people kept dying, but there was nice cognac everywhere, what do you think you would do?
I think I would know that there's money at stake and probably try and keep my wits about me.
One thing I'd like to ask you before we let's check the attic again. Before we progress further, do you think if you were by yourself during this experience, Quinns, you might experience a little bit of tension and fear?
Yeah, I think I might. I think
If you didn't have me to guide you.
I think it could be pretty nerve-wracking, yeah. Especially, playing this at the time it came out and having it push all of these technical boundaries and not knowing what's possible and what's impossible.
Exactly. Well, this game is actually very good at making it clear what's possible and impossible to the very observant and literary player. But, it is interesting. You start to feel more and more lonesome. Things get weirder and weirder. You wander around more and more. It's harder and harder to find people. Lillian is not going to be in our room because she's locked in a playhouse. Ethel's not, she's no longer in there because she's wandering around.
Those were the two characters we were closest to.
Exactly. And the Colonel is hanging out here.
But we can't even trust him.
Well, let's have a talk with him, see how he's doing. Quit coming in my room. Have you seen your doctor lately? My doctor is my business, young woman, so he's not about to be very nice to us, is he? There's no one here anymore that we could talk to. Rudy is candid with us, and so is Clarence, but Clarence is taking a nap. I don't know where Rudy and Gloria are.
It's tough times for us.
Yeah, let's see. Maybe Fifi is someone that... A rendezvous between the butler and the maid. Quintin, anything could happen right now. Let's see what happens.
The time, for those of you counting, is 9:45.
9:45, which is the kissing hour.
Stop shaking her.
Oh, no, that's Rudy.
Yeah.
Get out of my room now. So this is the second time. You'll regret that, you little vixen. I apologize to viewers that are sensitive to imagery of sexual assault. Hopefully it's so comic and corny that it didn't upset anybody, but Rudy's pretty forceful. So here we are, immediately after rejecting Rudy for the second time in this game, Fifi is taking a nap. Fifi looks tired from fighting off a jerk. She's resting in her bed. Okay, let's look in Fifi's closet.
Don't look in she's just... Hasn't Fifi got enough to deal with?
Fifi has an old armoire in the back corner of her room. Let's look on the floor over here. Pile of clothes. Just a pile of clothes, nothing special. That's where she gets changed. Alright, fine. We will leave Fifi alone. It will be fine.
Well, where to next, Lee?
I don't know. Well, the time has changed, so, let's see, where is the Colonel at the moment? I wonder.
He does get around, doesn't he?
Oh.
He's gone again. Hey.
Hey, we can use the elevator now that we have the key.
Does that mean we can... That's what the key was for. The one in the cannon was for the elevator.
I believe it is. Yeah, we see an elevator control. Control.
I wonder if my theory was correct, that you can go up into the attic.
Yeah.
Insert key in controls.
Aha. Let's go up.
But, oh, listen to that.
A nice...
Oh, this is spooktacular.
What a dark and creepy attic. It helps to have the moonlight shining in through those big windows. Among all the junk, a stack of old newspapers catches your eye.
Perhaps this will give us a reason that we should be caring about the croutons.
Yeah, I don't know. This seems to be an old stack of 1980s editions.
1890s.
Oh, wow. Yeah, 1890s editions of the Times Democrat. As you look through them, an October 18th, 1898 edition catches your interest. You begin reading.
New Orleans, Louisiana. Colonel Henry Dijon came home today after spending several months in the hospital following injuries in the recent Spanish-American War. Colonel Dijon took several bullets to his pelvic and shoulder areas as he attempted to carry a seriously injured fellow soldier to safety. What does that mean? Incredibly, though injured himself, he managed to make it safely behind American lines. Colonel Dijon was duly decorated and discharged with honor by the U.S. Army. New Orleans welcomes home a true American war hero.
Wow.
Is that why the colonel's in a wheelchair, you wonder?
You wonder.
Well,
okay.
surely it is.
Yeah, I mean, surely. He had a war injury. The colonel was a hero. And here you were, suspecting him of murder, Quins. It's dark back here in the attic. The moonlight from the large windows doesn't light this part of the attic very well. Through the gloom, you can see piles of uninteresting boxes and old junk. However, there is an old trunk that does interest you, okay? Let's see. Just before we wander into the dark.
Oh no, this is a murderer's trunk.
No.
It's a common feature of bayou houses.
What do you see in the trunk, Quins?
Peering into the open... Oh, I don't like it. Into the open trunk you see old army clothing and various paraphernalia. This must be where the colonel keeps his old army gear. Lying on top of everything else you notice a large officer's cape, a pair of leather gloves, a colonel's hat, and an old pair of army boots. It's the colonel's old uniform.
Yeah, wow, amazing. So, looks like we're the only ones to be able to come up into this attic anyway, and that things are pretty safe.
What if the colonel needs to use his elevator while we're,
I don't know,
okay.
we'd best get out of here quickly. Good thing the game doesn't actually operate in real time.
Down we go. I feel like this is going to be embarrassing if we have to tell the colonel, oh, we were just in your elevator because we were nosy and also stole the key out of the cannon. And
in the elevator,
also,
and we have been raiding your room, and we've seen a couple of your friends die.
We watched you in a...
Flagrante delicto with your maid.
Wow. I was reaching for a fancy word, but you just plucked an even fancier word off the shelf.
As usual. Alright, let's enter the billiards room. See if Rudy and Clarence or any of our friends could be in here. Oh, here's Gloria, relaxing, enjoying herself, as usual.
Act 4. Is it me, or does every act signify a new death? Just saying.
It could be. Really, darling? You're interrupting my music. Alright, fine. I'll just leave then, miss.
Oh no. I know this pattern. If you go back in...
You think?
Go on.
Are you sure?
No, yes.
Let's see if you're right.
Oh,
things look suspicious here.
That was quick. You can see pieces of broken record on the floor by the patrol and small pile of pink feathers near it.
It's almost like the murders happen very near to where we are.
Hang on a second, though. We found pink feathers on the last murder case.
Well, they're Gloria's pink feathers.
Right. What, next to the last body, I mean.
Some mud spots.
This broken record lies on the floor.
With monocle. We're being real detectives now. The muddy spot looks like a partial footprint.
Amateur mistake, really.
Yeah, I guess that's all we can see, I suppose.
We can pop out of these French doors, chase the murderer down.
Yeah, let's try to chase it down. Yeah, we saw the spots of mud.
Did we get some record shards?
Maybe there'll be a fingerprint. 2 different fingerprints, so one might be Gloria's.
Wait. Okay, yeah. So one would be Gloria's
because she had been listening to the
record.
records, yeah. And the other might be the killer's.
Why would you smash it? I wonder.
Yeah, I don't know. And Laura, she's not very good at hearing things.
Ooh,
Oh, Jeeves is here.
with a gun?
No. He's just cleaning up. There's no need to be afraid of the butler right now.
I was pretty nervous there, man.
Just Jeeves carpet sweeping the rug. He's just, making sure that things go smoothly and tidily around here.
Jeeves is clearing up evidence of his crime.
Okay, wow. Interesting.
This is all getting pretty scary, and when you enter this hallway, we can't quite hear it.
I said it before, but I do like that the cast is dwindling because it makes my life a lot easier.
And we do feel a bit lonely now in this big house, and if you listen, we've turned it down because of the friends listening to Lo-Fi Let's Play, so Jeeves has cleaned up in here as well. Here he is vacuuming up the feathers in here as well. Thank you, Jeeves. So there's some very good dynamic events that you can observe if you're in the right place at the right time.
Eventually there will just be you and one other person, so we will know who the murderer is.
Yeah, potentially.
By then. Unless everybody is killing everybody else, which would be unfortunate.
Oh, time advances again. Do you think things are starting to heat up?
Oh no.
Anyway, the thing I was saying is that there's a ominously ticking clock in the central hallway the entire time. What an interesting collection of weapons Uncle Henry has. I wonder. Oh, Laura, you startled me.
Having finished reading to dolls, she's now looking for weapons.
Yeah, she's kind of going to be my suspect. Can we maybe sit and hang out with Lillian? You don't feel like sitting around?
Yeah, well, you wouldn't, would you? On account of the murders.
You surprised me, Laura. Have you been keeping yourself busy? No, I mean, I kind of thought we were going to hang out, and you'd introduce me to your family.
Or at least your dolls.
Yeah, maybe. Rudy's never worked a day in his life. He spends all his time in gambling halls or sleazy bars. Well, maybe now she's in the mood to talk about her family. Ask Lillian about Colonel. And as things escalate, I think Uncle Henry's been turned against me by someone. We used to be so close. Let's say we saw Ethel outside. Remember, your mom is kind of wandering around. Don't watch my mother, Laura. That bothers me.
That is a kind of very alcoholic family kind of thing to say.
Yeah, like, just please don't look. What about Gloria? We saw Gloria. Gloria's not so great. She's got plenty of problems between her talent, her boyfriends, and money or lack thereof. Wow. Now she's gotten like Rudy, like very violently opinionated about everyone. Mr. Sparrow is just trying to turn my uncle against me. Wow, okay. Gertie? Oops.
Which one's Mr. Sparrow?
Clarence, the lawyer.
Oh, okay.
I really don't want to discuss my Aunt Gertie. Okay, fine, fair enough. I wonder if we should try to find Gloria's body. Let's see.
We have historically found something useful on every single body.
Yeah. Oh, Rudy. Rudy's wandering around outside.
Time ticking again.
As he wanders away. Alright, fine. I don't want to encounter Rudy right now. I'm going to,
Who does?
I want to try to... Where do you think we would find Gloria? I mean, I know where to find her. But if I told you it was out of the house, and it was someplace we've seen only briefly so far, what might you guess?
Could be the house. It could be the playhouse. Could be the barn. It could be that place which had the old cart, the old carriage where we got the
carriage
crowbar.
house. Yeah, that could be possible.
Could be the murder playground. I'll be honest. Anywhere in this garden would make a good point to stuff a corpse ominously.
Yeah, let's just take a walk around the plantation and see. It's always a good... Oh, Celia's here. Rocking chair and her chickens. Oh.
Hey, it's Clarence.
Looks like this is a portion of the game where a lot of things can happen, when you're least expecting them. Clarence has walked past. Okay.
Celia's the Colonel's cook. Overweight black lady.
She is probably a very nice person, just
minding
her own business. You have heard that Celie practices voodoo, and you wonder about this. Well, hey.
Ask Celie about voodoo. You read my mind.
There is nothing wrong with voodoo, if you use it for good anyway. A lot more bad would happen around here if it wasn't for me and my spells.
It'd
wow.
do with her to cast a spell right now.
What's the matter with Lillian? She was looking at weapons. Yeah, you told us about the suicide, but we'd like to tell you about the weapons.
Is this another problematic implication that, you have an exposure to suicide and then you're just cracked for the rest of your life?
Yes. This is... we watched an episode of the U.S. Office today where I'm not going to try to walk on that.
No, that is a bad time. Why does
Yeah,
that happen?
but we did watch an episode of the U.S. Office today where the characters were participating in a play murder mystery, right?
Mm-hmm.
And some of these character archetypes were present. And I don't think it was because the writers of the show have seen the Colonel's Bequest, do you?
No.
I think it's because dinner theater murder mysteries rely very heavily on plot tropes and archetypes, in part because, audience participation is part of the goal, and when the audience has some idea of what to expect and some familiarity with the tropes, it's more fun for them to sort of guess along and join in, don't you think?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, here's Miss
It's our
Ethel.
favourite.
Ethel's wandering around.
Another. Every time I see that the title card that tells you it's a new act,
We know. Well, a few acts have passed while we were walking around outside looking for Gloria's body.
I fear for people's safety.
And, here's one of the problems with the scripting of this game. The fact that we accidentally encountered Ethel and Clarence before encountering Gloria's body sort of means that we can't possibly achieve the ideal ending because we will have... what's here?
But never mind that.
There is a rolling pin lying on the ground.
Oh, no. I feel like the murderer just keeps picking up items like handkerchiefs and rolling
A muddy
pins
footprint.
and feathers belonging to different people, because there's no way an actual murderer could be this, forgetful.
Yeah. Or maybe, what if it could be different murderers? We found a handkerchief, which belonged to Ethel. We found a rolling pin that belongs to Celie.
That did occur to me, but what's the odds that there are that many incompetent murderers under one roof?
Oh. There's an insignia of an eagle.
On the boot print?
Yeah. Someone must have been wearing some military boots.
The Colonel's boots from the attic.
They could have been. But, anyone could have had access to those boots, nearly. So long as they had access to the attic, right?
Maybe.
Well.
I'm pretty excited to find that corpse.
Me too. I'm sorry that I haven't found it yet. We passed a gazebo once, and I no longer remember where it is. So we can sort of say that we failed in this regard, maybe? Let's head to the center of the rose garden.
Wonderful little garden.
Wonder who planted it. Certainly
This is not
the
a
Colonel.
murder garden.
It's a wonderful little garden where you think maybe love and romance could take place.
There's two little kissing seats.
Yeah, it does. All right, and this is one of the game's major faults, is that it's scripted very specifically, but the outdoors area is actually quite challenging to navigate cleanly, and you may accidentally encounter at this point characters that move the time forward.
There's a crocodile.
Yeah, I don't want to encounter this. Let's just save the game in case I accidentally walk into the water. Things are getting intense right now. Ooh, wow. Did you see that beautiful animation of him entering the bayou water?
I did.
That is beautiful. Here, I see a gazebo over there. Maybe that's... Finally we're going to get there. There it is.
Oh my goodness, that is a bad place to hide a body.
Gloria is lying very still upon the gazebo floor. On closer inspection, it's clear that someone has strangled Gloria with her own feather boa. Wow.
It's almost symbolic.
Yeah, because you suspect her of having killed other people?
No, because she has draped in this dramatic pose and she was killed. But
She was indeed viciously strangled.
I
Wow.
don't really think it's ironic.
This Hollywood actress sprawled out across a gazebo. It's a bit picturesque, maybe.
I also think it's a poor place to hide a body.
You know what, Quinns? I agree with you. But so I was talking about murder mystery and dinner theater archetypes, and how as a creator, Roberta Williams did often like to deal in archetypes. A lot of her stories were about fairy tales. If I'm not mistaken, the Sierra team did this mixed-up Mother Goose game long before they ever did this. And the Sierra team's game Mystery House seemed to have sort of been a prototypical edition of this game, where people were invited to dinner and it all went wrong. But this obviously has much more elaborate graphics and scripting and story and characters. So yeah.
There's also, if you work from stereotypes, you instantly have a really evocative palette with which to draw your characters. Something that your audience are immediately familiar with.
Yeah, and I think, it's sort of like how first-time authors maybe try for fiction in established genres, because it gives you a very familiar palette and set of ideas to work with. And I think that at a time when...
Hey, congratulations.
Oh, thanks. I wasn't trying to get here, but why don't we see what's happening in here? Oh no, Ethel's here.
She's been hit over the head and killed.
Something terrible is going on around here, and you suddenly feel a cold fear spreading ominously throughout your body. So wait, how many people have died? Let's
4.
think.
It's 4 so
Gertie. Who else? Wilbur. Gloria. Now Ethel. And that's how many people have to die before Laura the detective
decides that something bad is going on.
Oh, poor Ethel with her little X's for eyes and everything. In Mystery House, the dead characters had little line-drawing X's for eyes. So every time I discover a body in Colonel's Bequest, I always find it a callback, you know? Oops, sorry. Search. Sometimes...
I wonder where that comes from, the X's for eyes.
Me either. Or the XXX on bottles of rum that translate into X's over your eyes. You fearfully search Ethel's body and find that she was indeed killed by a terrible hit on the head. Okay, well, I thought we picked up all the crowbars and pokers ourselves. Again, at this point...
Maybe there's an alternate ending for picking up every heavy object in the house.
Where Laura is actually, carrying all the murder weapons and is always at the scene of the crime right after it happens, and she always knows where to find the bodies. So I'm starting to feel very suspicious of her. I wonder if all of our friends at home are also feeling the same.
The police do pretty much have her dead to rights at this point.
Well, who's still alive, Quintin? Do you remember?
Okay, well, there's Angry Rudy.
Yeah.
There's Lillian, the creepy doll talking lady.
Yeah.
There's the Colonel himself.
Uh-huh.
There's...
What about the people who work here?
Yes, well, there's the butler.
Uh-huh, his name is...
I'd actually ruled out the hideout because it seemed too obvious. There's the butler whose name is Butler. There's Fifi.
His name is Jeeves, like all butlers are.
How could I forget that?
Right, speaking of archetypes...
There's Fifi, the French maid, and there's the attorney.
Yes, the attorney's name is Clarence, actually. So I think that we should go and have a look and see if Fifi is in her room. It's in the attic, as you recall.
Lee, have you read the book Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime?
No, I haven't. Why don't you tell us about it, Quint?
Well, it's about... Basically, it's about a murder, and it's a murder mystery, but it's written from the perspective of the disabled family member in the house, the sort of disabled child.
Uh-huh.
I'm wondering if this game kind of has a similar twist where it turns out that you are basically a burglar or an awful friend.
That would be an interesting twist for an adventure game to have. Oh, as we enter Fifi's room, it's time for...
You've got to be kidding me.
Listen to the French music as she gets into her fancy dress. Wow.
That was amazing.
Are you all right? Would you like another candy? For the friends at home, my colleague Quinns has begun eating blackjack, so if you hear wrappers crinkling, we're not going to edit that sound out. Lo-Fi Let's Play is all about the wonderful experiences we organically have.
It's like how athletes need, Lucozade or Gatorade to keep going.
Would you read the...
Fifi.
Fifi. People always said that they liked the Lo-Fi Let's Plays because of the pleasant voices, and I think you might be breaking my streak. Anyway, Fifi must be getting ready to see someone special, as she's taking great pains to make herself look pretty. Wow.
Who could that be?
I don't know. Who's still alive? You should not be in here, mademoiselle. This is my private room. Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, it is sort of rude that we feel entitled to walk in on her while she's getting ready for a date, apparently. But I'd like to know your theories on who the lucky man might be.
Well, the obvious surprise choice is that it's Rudy.
Okay.
And that Fifi and Rudy...
She hates Clarence. No, after Rudy has been seen... being very brutal to her person.
Well, that's why he's the person you least suspect.
Well, what does she say? Do not tell anyone, but I fear that man.
Who, Rudy?
Yeah. She's afraid of him. Wow. Well, what about... Who else is still alive? Jeeves.
Ooh.
Most of the time, I feel that he is the only one who understands me.
Why, could Fifi be in cahoots in that she's sleeping with the Colonel for his money?
Yes, probably. Maybe it's a scheme between her and Jeeves. Is the date with the Colonel? Henry is not really a mean man. He is really very nice. He's just, how you say, misunderstood. Okay, so, she clearly has something going on tonight. Okay. Off we go. And there's 2 glasses of cognac here, so...
Is she going to have a guest to her chambers?
I believe she's probably expecting a guest, yes. Why don't we go and have a talk with the parrot? Remember we got some crackers?
Oh yeah, it's been a long time
Yeah.
since we got those crackers or saw that parrot. Maybe the parrot's been killed next.
Oh god, that would be terrible, and you would have missed your chance to feed a parrot.
If we walk into the room with the parrot and it says Act 7, I'm going to be annoyed.
Well, it's now 11:15, which seems like,
The witching hour.
We've said the witching hour every time the time changes, and I don't think we've been right.
It's because it's Halloween.
What if there are no witches in this at all? I mean, we did see a ghost.
Yes, let's not forget that the supernatural is alive and well in the Colonel's Bequest.
Yeah. I mean, what can we do with that crank and that valve handle?
I tell you what.
Oh.
Did that door just open?
I walked out, actually. Let's go... I'm actually not sure if I've ever been able to solve this mystery, so let's give it a try. You said you saw a slot there.
Yeah. Oh, did we have the crank as opposed to the lever? Hole? Yeah, we tried all this before. How happens if we just type look statue?
Oh, what's this? You notice a
Shaft.
small square shaft protruding
Shaft
from
was
the
the
base.
noun you needed.
As it is. Oh wow, we've been playing this for a long time.
Can we take a moment to appreciate that you were just stymied by an adventure game, and I, Quins, was the person to guide you through that particular puzzle? No need to thank me. Just,
Thank you, Quins. When I need an expert on examining shafts, I will ask you.
Good.
Okay, the crank doesn't fit on the shaft.
Oh, I've been there.
What's that like for you?
I honestly, I made that joke long before I tried to figure out what it
Oh,
meant.
we put the handle in. The metal valve handle is now attached to the valve stem at the base of the statue.
The plot thickens.
So the fountain's now come to life.
Good work.
I don't know what that means, though. Oh, we've turned the fountain on. We can, nymph.
Nump.
Nymph. There's a metal valve handle attached to a valve stem. Why don't we just leave that there for now?
Wait, so that's nothing to do with the crank that we've got?
No, it doesn't. I don't remember, honestly, how to solve this.
See, this is what's bugging me about this game. Like,
Oh, you know what? I'm sorry.
For the people at home, Lee just consulted her magical Bible.
You mean I used my imagination?
Oh my god. It's got late enough in the evening that the oh my goodnesses have become oh my god for me.
Yeah, you spent a lot of time in the chapel of this game, and now...
Here we go.
Oh, wow. Wow.
See, this is the thing. All of these relationships and people and conversations, but ultimately, the puzzles that we're solving are just as arcane as anything else in an adventure game.
Well, they're actually optional. The main...
Really?
Yep. Most players play this game for the first time, and they sort of follow characters that they're interested in around the house, like a Sleep No More type thing.
For people at home, Lee is referring to...
Interactive theater. Quins, why don't you... Oh, we don't have any matches. Wonderful. Okay. Well, we're not going to go in there right now because we don't seem to have any matches.
Yeah, there's a theatre company called Punch Drunk who put on all kinds of shows where the actors wander around a very large space, and so she's it's got to that time in the evening. She's running around.
Zooming around, yep.
But anyone can follow any of the actors or actresses. Oh, they're all called actors, aren't they?
Let's go back to that parrot.
Will the parrot give us our matches?
Could be.
But yes, so in a similar fashion to this, you can follow any given actor from scene to scene and watch an entire play just following one of the cast's 12 actors.
Yes, and as time passes, you're going to see some elements of the play and miss others. And the main game, for most players, is going to be like that for their first couple of playthroughs. But then, you'll get to the end of the
Jeeves,
game.
ooh, Jeeves, kiss me again.
So Polly has heard that someone... We'll give Cracker to the parrot again.
Someone's been kissing Jeeves.
Cracker. Okay.
I think... surprising myself, I think I was correct. I think...
Oh, maybe it only says something interesting per chapter.
But we only have 7 crackers.
Yeah, and...
Well, now you just wasted like 4 of them.
I'm sorry that I did that. So, anyway, as I was saying, the main game, you'll probably, end up at the end of the game, not be sure why you had the right answer, feel like you missed something, and be tempted to play it again. And this time you're going to see something else, and you're going to pick something else. Or at a certain time of night, that's Quintin's candy wrappers again, you're going to, be motivated to wander out into the bayou at a different time. And this time you'll find Lillian in the playhouse. Or this time you'll realize that you can oil that bell. So it's like different things that you discover on each playthrough. Most players will play the game and end up with a profound sense that they've left something undone, and that motivates them to solve the game's many mysteries. You'll see at the end.
It's definitely very very unusual. There's a lot of lessons here that was that ended in this kind of evolutionary stub of game design. I'm chewing, so I can't do that.
That's okay. Well, yeah, Quinns normally would be reading the voice of Clarence for you, but right now we're talking to him about people because he's sitting at the bar, having his cigar, starting to go too far with these stories.
Nobody believes you.
No, nobody does. So I'm going to look at that cigar. That's a big cigar. Okay, so we know now that that's differentiated from the Colonel. So this is actually, for obscure reasons related to my personal friendships, my favorite part of the game. Oops.
Oh, really? That we're coming up to now?
Yep.
Oh, yes. No, you were telling me about this.
Yeah. So it's going to be hopefully a lovely surprise for all the friends at home that at this time of the night, as the hour draws late and bodies are everywhere...
Happy Halloween, everybody.
Happy Halloween, everybody. As the hour becomes 11:30, we spot in the dining room the cad, Rudy.
What's he doing?
You see Rudy having dessert and coffee in the dining room. This serious and horrible mustachioed man eating cake. And anyway, that's my favorite part. Oh, what's on the floor?
Looks like a
small raised platform. Something's on the floor. I'll tell you what it is. A cigar butt.
Look, butt. Excuse me.
Take butt. How old are you, Quinns? Didn't you just have your birthday this month?
I didn't know it was a cigar butt, so I just saw you type look butt.
And now she's bending over to pick up the small cigar butt. All right, so...
It's a small cigar butt. You know what that means.
What could it be?
The Colonel has been in these corridors being a prick. And...
I don't
Excuse me, sorry.
No, it's okay. You don't have to reset. This is a long form Let's Play, and only the most dedicated listeners will have made it this far. But I want you to remember that this is a safe place for all my friends to enjoy the childlike wonder of beautifully designed adventure games, and that language is not necessarily a part of our experience. Could you apologize to the friends at home?
I would like to apologise to you, Lo-Fi Let's Play listener. Lee, would you like a candy?
No, thank you. I'm trying to play a game actually.
Well, that does certainly explain why we found the Colonel's cane upstairs in the corridor.
Yep. So can you say, I'm sorry, friends?
I'm sorry, friends.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Quintin. It has been really nice having you along for this rare and extended Halloween edition of Lo-Fi Let's Plays. And I'm so glad...
Thank you very much for having me.
Well, it's been a pleasure, and I'm so glad you're getting to meet my friends and be part of this adventure experience with me. Did you, when you were young, play computer games side by side with a friend or a buddy?
I played some games with my mum.
Oh, that's lovely. What ones did you play with her?
The ones that we played were point and clicks like this. We played Monkey Island, but I was very young. And at the end of Monkey Island 2, we're actually Monkey Island 1. If you remember the ghost pirate LeChuck,
Yes,
I
LeChuck.
was very afraid of him. I had to leave the room while my mum did any section involving LeChuck.
Oh, it's not just she had to do it for you. You had to leave so that she could beat LeChuck for you. Why are you treating me this way, Uncle Henry? Don't you care how I feel? Don't I matter to you anymore?
You matter to me the same way everyone else does. No more and no less.
Could we maybe ease up on the candy while you're reading the lines?
Excuse me.
But I don't understand it. I thought I was special. I thought you cared for me more than for Gloria, or Rudy, or any of the others. Oh, wow. She could be a jealous type.
You're right. You thought that. You were wrong. You're missing your line.
What about when I used to come and visit you? You were like a father to me. How can you be like this now?
I'm afraid you misunderstood a lot of things, Lillian. I was just trying to help my sister, that's all.
Wow.
To me, you were just her insecure, whiny kid.
Cold. I won't hear any more of this. You're lying to me, Uncle Henry. Somebody's behind this. I just know it. And I intend to find out who it is.
Someone's turning...
Au revoir, Uncle Henry.
Someone's turning the Colonel against his niece?
Yeah, I mean, do you believe that there's a conspiracy for him to reject her? Or do you believe she's been talking in the playhouse for a really long time?
I think Fifi and the butler, Jeeves, might be working as part of a conspiracy to turn the Colonel against his entire family.
So that the hired help can inherit. You know, that is an incredibly sophisticated idea. And, you know, would that the game was this sophisticated, honestly. Yeah, but I mean, I think, you know, so the story itself, again, relies on archetypes. It's like every cheesy dinner theater that you've ever seen. And, you know, not... Oh, hi, Rudy.
Rudy's still enjoying his cake. Unbeknownst to the corpses around
Lillian's
him.
touched, if you know what I mean. I don't think you know the complete story about her, do you? No, I don't think I do.
Well, this is the first time someone's actually engaged us in conversation in the entire game.
Say some more. I don't have anything else. Well, why don't we tell?
Wait, that's it? We don't get to...
I don't want to talk about my wacky cousin.
My God. We were so close to having a decent conversation tonight.
My sister and I have a real understanding between us.
Understanding...
Oh, sometimes it's like me and her against the world.
See, it's Lannisters.
Yeah, you know, I suppose you're right, but there's no sexual overtones. There's just none. I don't think. I mean, unless he's going after Fifi because she's blonde, as his sister is.
What do you think that cake represents?
Desserts and just desserts and revenge.
Good old dog. He hasn't killed anyone tonight.
No, Beauregard is loyal. Let's go. Oh, wow.
Flowers.
Topless Jeeves. So the
Oh
women...
my God, he's buff.
Wow.
He actually has like some devil horns going on there.
Hello, Jeeves must be getting ready to see someone special, as he's taking great pains with his appearance while standing at his sink.
I think my theory is extremely good.
You have a feeling you know who will be the recipient of these flowers.
We do. It's Fifi.
Yeah, wow, your deductive reasoning skills are just awesome.
That would mean Jeeves is being very big, considering his beau,
Fifi.
to use the game's terminology, is sleeping with the Colonel.
Yeah, well, she is.
Well, to be fair, we don't know if she was sleeping with him.
Yeah, she could just be well, I mean, their clothes were off.
Yes, but, you know...
They could just have been having a bath together innocently, like children. You know, you never know. But yeah, like, the thing that I was saying is that even though the story itself is not... Oh, that figure is pacing outside again.
Who is it this time? Because the drunk is gone.
It's the same figure. You know, why don't we just wait here, and you keep an eye on that window while I explain to you.
Last time it walked past, I thought it was a female figure.
Well, let's wait and see if
This
you're
is by
right.
far the most riveting part of the Lo-Fi Let's Play.
Where we stand and looking at the delicate animation of the fireplace and this...
Beg your pardon?
The fireplace and this gentleman Rudy here. Across the room, back and forth.
Would that we could share a piece of cake with Rudy and while away the evening with him?
You know, I wish that we were invited to have some. So, as we pace back and forth, waiting to see if that figure passes the windows again, so the story itself is not that sophisticated and it relies on dinner theater archetypes, but the delivery of the game mechanics is in fact quite interesting and sophisticated. Each playthrough will really allow you to see only a small part of the story and to witness only a few scenes. For example, we saw Ethel, even on this playthrough, we saw Ethel walking around outside drunk, but we didn't actually see her at the bar today, and I can tell you there's definitely been some scenes where I've eavesdropped on her, speaking with the parrot and sharing her sorrows with the parrot. Yeah. Again, this is probably the playthrough via which, I guess we should give up. The playthrough via which I'll have the most to show you, but that doesn't mean we've seen everything. And each player is going to have, a pretty different experience when they play this game. And I always exit the door by accident. And each player is going to finish this game thinking about what they could have done better or differently. Let's check on the Colonel, right? Keep thinking it's like that movie we watched, House of the Devil, where the mother is always upstairs, but we never know what she's doing. That movie was very scary. Wow. When Act 6 begins, we arrive in the Colonel's room to find that he has vacated his wheelchair.
Wait. But that means, ordinarily, whenever we've had an act transition, there's been someone in that room, someone who's then turned up dead. This being the Colonel's room, could it mean the Colonel is about to be killed?
Wow,
Are the hired help going on a final date and making themselves look beautiful before killing their employer? That would be sexy.
Yeah, wow, that would be salacious. The Colonel's wheelchair sits empty in the middle of the room. Wow, okay. Well...
The house does feel very empty now, doesn't it?
And the wheelchair's gone, and the Colonel's gone.
Oh, what?
Yes, it does feel empty.
How did the wheelchair leave?
And there's nothing but the constant ticking of the great clock downstairs and the passing of time and the emptiness of these rooms. A small empty bottle.
That was the perfume that Lillian was putting on earlier?
Could be. Lillian's perfume.
Sleeping powder.
What could it say? What does it say on the sleeping powder bottle, Quinns?
It says that the sleeping powder can be fatal if taken in too large a dose.
Oh, no.
Oh. And the box out.
Okay, well, who do you think could be the next victim?
Well, who's been sleeping recently? Nobody.
Well, Clarence was sleeping.
Oh, no. Yes, good call.
Oh.
But he's fast.
Uh-oh. So Clarence is here doing something. I actually didn't mean to advance time. So important.
It's midnight now. midnight. These people should be asleep.
Absolutely.
Countryside. Only freelancers should be up this late.
Perhaps he's a freelancer. He looks despondent as he sits hunched over the desk writing something in his notebook.
Yeah, that sounds like a freelancer.
Yeah, that's basically what you do. Let's see how everyone else is doing.
Good old Fifi. Last time we went in here, we got... Oh my god.
What is happening around here? You have discovered poor Fifi and Jeeves lying dead on the floor with their spilled drinks nearby. You don't like the looks of this at all.
No, someone put the sleeping powder in the cognac.
Laura is so astute. The Victrola is still operating in the corner.
You thoroughly examined Jeeves and Fifi's bodies, but you can't see how they might have died. No, don't worry, game. We figured it out.
Okay. Examine. Decanter. Let's see. A strange white powder has collected in the bottom of the cognac decanter. Oh no.
This is devastating.
Let's see if the killer left any fingerprints behind. 2 clear fingerprints.
Now, Lee, this game... and it used to this copy protection, didn't it? The fact that it came with a fingerprint
chart, yes, but that actually, unfortunately, the fingerprint chart doesn't actually help you identify what fingerprints you're seeing. No, that's true.
I thought that would be a fun extra.
Okay, let's see where our room is. Maybe, where's Lillian been now? I'm really suspicious and leery of Lillian at this point as well.
Oh my god, who's left? It's Lillian.
Here she is. She's doing something in her suitcase.
That doesn't seem so suspicious.
Well, yeah, maybe she's just going to go to bed like a normal person.
Lillian looks clearly agitated as she sits on the bed by her suitcase.
What could she possibly be looking for? If only we had a way to know. So we move the armoire. We're going to enter that area.
This game is a love letter to voyeurism.
Yeah, very, very good critical thinking there, Quince. Very good. Lillian is writing in a book, which she apparently keeps locked in her suitcase. Oh wow, both Clarence and Lillian are feverishly scribbling in their diaries right now.
I wonder why. I wonder what that could have to do with anything. I'm going to get a piece of paper and a pencil and write down the names of everybody and cross them off one by one.
Alright, you go on and do that. Quinns has gone to get a piece of paper and a pencil, which, you know, if he had been a true adventure gamer, he would have sat down with that method from the beginning, I think. I am going to go back into the parlor. I'm going to give the bird a cracker. Oh, there's a glass abandoned here. Look, glass. There's a faint fingerprint on it. Look, glass with monocle. And I didn't really learn to use the monocle on everything until, you know, I've been playing this game on and off regularly for about 10 years before I learned, you know, everything that you could do to get the highest possible rating in this game. We will not get the highest possible rating because I have not, you know, been faultlessly observant. Picking up the glass, you use Wilbur's monocle as a magnifying glass. Notice a faint fingerprint.
What's the solicitor's name?
You mean the lawyer?
Yeah.
His name is Clarence.
Do we only have 4 people alive at the minute?
Let's see.
The Colonel, Lillian, Rudy, and Clarence.
Yep, you're right.
My God, and the parrot. I'm putting the parrot down as well because
the parrot says, "Oh, I can't find her. Oh, where's Gloria?"
Oh, Gloria's dead.
So, but who would be saying, "I can't find her, where's Gloria"? Who do you think would be concerned about where Gloria is?
Probably Lillian. Wait, oh, Gloria, Rudy.
Yes. I told you that your difficulty with remembering names might make this really difficult. So, we should maybe try to find Rudy. Because the parrot is letting us know that Rudy is out looking for his sister.
Well, we last saw him eating cake, which was in the room opposite this one.
Yeah. I want to check on the weapons collection.
You are walking with the
purpose of someone who knows how to finish this game. You notice anything different over here?
The cabinet is open. That cabinet had the...
Would you like to read what it says?
Within the cabinet, you see an Australian boomerang, a steel cutlass, a mace, and an antique crossbow.
I see. Something was missing. Wasn't there a pearl-handled dagger?
Well, there was.
See, once again, our skills of adventure game observation have let us know that someone has taken a dagger. Who did we see taking a really particular interest in those weapons last time?
Lillian.
Yeah, so things are getting weirder and weirder with Lillian.
I'm writing that next to her name.
Things are weird.
Interest in weapons and mad.
So our suspects now are Rudy, Clarence, Colonel, and Lillian.
Okay, so the Colonel...
I just saved before that a second ago. Wow, let's see if we can restore without continuing to walk underneath. No. Okay, let's stay to this side. Well, we got to have the fun and sudden appearance of the chandelier. Let's step outside. No one's here.
Clarence doesn't have any reason to...
Why don't we spy on Clarence? What could he possibly be writing?
Wasn't Rudy in debt as well?
Well, they said he had a lot of gambling debts, yeah. Both his Aunt Ethel as well as Celie have warned us about Rudy's gambling debts.
Okay, so I've got my list of suspects. Rudy has gambling debts. Clarence is also in debt because he took some of the Colonel's money.
Mm-hmm.
Lillian has...
Well, he took money from the Colonel, so he's in debt to the Colonel.
Yes. Lillian, however, has an interest in weapons and is mad.
And really feels that someone is trying to turn her uncle against her. So
I forgot there's someone else alive.
Oh.
Celia.
Oh yeah, Celie. That's right. Do you think that she's gonna? Do you think that she's?
I think that would be above and beyond.
That would, yeah. It seems
if she turned out to be the murderer.
Clarence is writing at his desk. Okay.
Yeah. He's not loudly announcing to himself what he's writing.
I wonder what time it is now.
I think it's still 12:15.
Oh no, I think.
The witching hour.
Right, it's always the witching hour for you, isn't it? Oh, Lillian stops rummaging whenever she sees us.
Why are they both writing?
I just don't know.
And we haven't seen Rudy in a while, have we?
No, I think I'd like to find him. Clarence is not in the mood to talk. So yeah, I think that our main task for right now should be to try to find Rudy. So we should maybe see if he's outside.
I feel an awful lot better now I've got my list of names. It's very grounding. I can see why. I honestly believe that any game where you have to get a piece of paper and draw a map, whether it's Fez or I think I remember doing it in Morrowind for one reason or another. It's very comforting.
Yeah, did you have a lot of experience as a child solving adventure game puzzles with maps or notes the way that my lo-fi Let's Play friends and I do?
No, not a great deal, but I do. I mean, there's still the same joy in maps. I do like maps, and there's a big thing in PC gaming of the idea of a game that comes with a paper map, and it's just very exciting. It's transporting to open up a box. And, hey, it's Rudy.
Here he is. Hi, Rude.
He's not dead yet.
No, he's hanging out with Beauregard.
Well, he likes animals. He can't be a murderer.
Do you think that's true? Okay.
Yeah, I'm a sucker like that.
It'd be really good to be able to eavesdrop on him, but Rudy, what's going on? Don't look at Rudy. Rudy sits sullenly on the steps outside the Colonel's study, with old Beauregard accompanying him. I don't want to talk about nothing right now. I got some thinking to do.
Ask him about his sister.
Ah, it's you again, is it? You should be up sleeping, like everybody else.
This guy's the best grammar.
Rudy, where is your sister Gloria? You're getting on Rudy's nerves, Laura. You should probably go.
Well, that's sinister.
Wow, isn't it? Things are really dark right now.
I wonder if Rudy is the killer.
He could be. Why don't you
I
maybe...
don't like anybody. Can we arrest them all? Except Seeley.
If we survive, why don't we go visit Seeley? Maybe she could help us with some magic.
Oh, some of that old New Orleans voodoo.
That's right. So why don't you go through again your theory of the suspects and who is who? And
well, I don't think the Colonel killed everyone, but only because he has no reason to. He's a man at the end of his life.
And he's a war hero, don't forget.
He's a war hero, and he's got money, you know?
And he's trying to figure out who to leave his money to, so why would he kill his family?
I don't think Seeley's killed anyone because she has.
What if it was some kind of weird test to find out, like, who in his family he can trust and who he can't?
By killing them.
Yeah, right. That doesn't seem good. So you think it's probably not the Colonel's doing that all of this has gone on?
There's Lillian, who's mad and is interested in weapons and is vaguely interested in money, but...
She's obsessed with the Colonel.
Yeah, but, why kill all the rest of your family members? No.
Because she wants them all to herself or something.
No, Rudy and Clarence, though, are deep in debt. Honestly, and it's depressing to say this, but what if it's got something to do with this bloody ghost,
I don't know. Maybe we'll figure it out.
Well, look...
Knocking on Seeley's door moved the time to 1 a.m. This is definitely a witching hour.
No, it's not.
No?
So...
What are you doing here, girl? Can't you feel the evil in the air? There's something real bad around here, and I'm staying put in my cabin behind locked doors.
Okay.
Now get yourself on back to your room. Here? Wow.
If the people at home can hear that faint scratching noise, it's because I'm crossing out everything on my list and writing ghosts. I've changed my mind. It's ghosts. It's the ghosts of the Crouton family that did it.
The Crouton family ghost, huh? Okay, well, we've got to get ourselves on back to the house, and, let's go in. Let's check the study, hey? Let's see if any more weapons are missing.
Still waiting for that pearl-handled dagger to show up.
I think it'll show up in the next victim's back, don't you?
None of the deaths have actually been bloody so far.
Well, I mean, people have been bludgeoned and pushed out windows.
Yes, but there hasn't been much blood.
And strangled,
or
you're right.
Any blood, in fact.
Perhaps this is largely a family game, except for the salacious dressing scene that you enjoyed, featuring Fifi.
And the axe that cleaves your skull into.
Oh yeah, your deaths can be pretty gory. Oh no. Do you see what's changed here?
Oh, it looks like someone has smashed the glass box and recovered the Derringer.
Oh no, someone broke the glass case and took the silver Derringer. Oh, there goes your figure out the back window. It did look like a female figure in a hat and a cape. Where have we seen a cape?
Did we see a cape in the attic in that box of...
Yeah, I believe that we did. Wow, this is getting tense. Are you tense?
I
could use I could stand to go and freshen up.
Oop, I don't want to go outside right now. I don't like any of this. You gonna let me back in? Oh, phew.
I detect a sort of whir of ominous soundtrack there.
No. You would not be correct. But I do kind of want to go and freshen up in this beautiful bathroom with its 2 asymmetrical statues. Oh no. Now, this is horrendous. Now it's Clarence, who none of us liked.
Clarence.
Yeah, the silver-templed creepy lawyer that none of us liked. Someone has killed him by stabbing him in the chest with a dagger. If only there were a way to flee this terrible island.
Tell you what, though. Did I or did I not say that all the other murders had been clean? And look, someone's stabbed him in the bath, where there would be no blood.
It's readily apparent that Clarence was mortally stabbed in the chest with a sharp dagger.
Now, I have a question. Do you think that Clarence was in the bath before he was stabbed?
With his clothes on?
Yes.
I mean, we've seen some naked Jeeves and Fifi, so I think that if he was taking a bath, like, undressed, it would have... I mean, and do you remember, if friends who watched the first episode of the Colonel's Bequest Lo-Fi Let's Play will remember that Laura strips down to her skivvies to take a shower, if you have her take a shower in the beginning of the game. Shaking terribly, you search Clarence's body and establish that he did indeed die by a stab wound to the chest. Upon further searching, you discover a pack of matches in Clarence's coat pocket.
Oh snap, let's go to that fountain.
Yeah, very good. Okay. Let's make sure that's the same dagger. A pearl-handled dagger. Surprise, friends. Aren't you surprised? Okay. Let's see if Lillian is still doing her crazy scribbles in here. I'm sorry. You know, I know that saying that can be offensive to people who have mental health issues. I didn't mean to do that. So Lillian is doing some unusual things, let's say. So we open the suitcase.
I love that. Oh, excuse me, friends. I love that this is a murder mystery game where not 1, not 2, not 3, but around 9 murders are committed and no one except you ever notices.
Yeah, and there's no phones in this house at all, are there? You notice a diary lying atop Lillian's clothes.
Read diary.
Heck yeah. You don't have... Okay. Steal Lillian's diary. We came here with a friend for a family vacation. We end up seeing all our relatives die and stealing her diary.
I reckon the rules for diary stealing go out the window when there are corpses involved.
Upon noticing the diary, you casually notice an ink-stained fingerprint inside the front cover. Curiously and a bit guiltily, you scan through the rest of the diary's pages. Nothing much captures your interest until you come to the latest entry. It reads,
Dear Diary, I'm so terribly upset. I can't believe Uncle Henry would do this to me. I thought I was like a daughter to him, and now I find out I'm no more important than any of these other creeps. They can't get away with it, you know. They just can't. Between you and me, diary, you know they have to go. I think that is not... because of what they all did to me. I know that they were all in it together to have me put away in a nut house. I was never crazy. They just wanted me out of the picture. Now they have to... That's it. The passage ends abruptly.
Read articulately, please.
That's it. The passage ends abruptly.
What could Lillian mean by all this?
Yes.
All right, very good. Thank you for that.
Okay.
Let's continue. Okay. Oh, there was a fingerprint. Examine the diary with the monocle that we have been using for a magnifying glass.
You keep looking at these fingerprints, but you never make any note of them.
Well, here's an interesting thing about this, is that even though it doesn't tell you, the player, exactly what everything you're seeing means, the game notices that you, the player, can observe patterns, follow instructions, and record. So we've seen a fingerprint on the cognac, we've seen a boot print, we've seen a fingerprint on the diary, so ideally, at some point, we'll be able to put all this evidence together.
Found the detail on the handkerchief, too.
Yeah, we did find the detail on the handkerchief. Now, I'm excited because we have some matches, and what does that mean?
We can go in the tunnel under the fountain.
Yeah, finally. And it shows something that, you know, no matter how many times I've played this game, I can't exactly tell you right now what the fastest route to the fountain might be. Are you scared now walking outside that now that the killer could be anywhere?
No. I mean, it's not exactly Clock Tower.
No, it isn't, is it? All right, here we go. Why do we light this lantern?
God, I'm excited.
Yeah.
What could be down here? The attic was a washout, I'm not going to lie. But this...
Well, you saw some bodies and a woman undressing in the attic.
No, I mean the locked attic room.
Oh, the locked... Yeah,
No,
yeah.
don't get me wrong. The woman undressing was great. That was like tier 1.
Tier 1, very good.
Adventure gaming.
The lantern glows brightly, and now we enter...
Oh my god, a dinosaur bone.
Why don't you read to us what we're saying, Mr. Dinosaur Detective?
This looks like an underground passage of some sort. Boy, it sure is dark down here. The sudden sound of scurrying rats causes your heart to begin beating wildly.
Wow.
Look at that 2D.
Oh, a rat scurries by. We see some fossils. The fountain is above us.
This is spooky. This is Halloween now, ladies and gents.
This looks like an underground passage of some sort. Boy, it sure is dark down here. The sudden sound of scurrying rats causes your heart to begin beating wildly. What is going on?
No good will come of this. Do you reckon this passage will just lead to the house? That's what happens in what's it called? Girl with the dragon tattoo.
It appears you've discovered an old, sealed-off portion of the basement. You notice some outdated laundry paraphernalia in the form of a laundry chute, a wash tub, and a broken-down wringer. You can barely make out a pile of something underneath the chute.
Called it. That's Jeeves' room on the right.
It's the butler's room, yeah. This is behind the wall. How do we know that he's... A pile of dead bodies, friends. Is everyone okay? Oh no.
My god.
Someone has cruelly dumped the bodies of Gertie, Wilbur, Gloria, Ethel, Fifi, Jeeves, and Clarence down the old laundry chute. Fun fact, friends, in the first scene of the game, you yourself can enter the laundry chute and die. Wow. This is horrible.
There's a rat there too.
Wow. Wow, and look how the light comes up when you approach them.
Awful.
And fades away when you leave them. Okay, look tub. Look
Just to
rear.
hold laundry equipment.
Nothing of importance. So do you see anything else interesting in this
That key
space?
slot on the left, isn't
Oh
it?
yeah, what could that be?
Oh, could that be for our crank or
Oh my
lever?
goodness. Look, wall. It looks as if two opposite walls have been bricked up. On the left wall, next to one bricked up portion, you notice a small metal plate. Just look at the plate. Oh, this is exciting, Quintin.
You
There's
see
a hole.
There's a hole in the middle of the metal plate. The game doing its best to create a sort of string tense thing. With some effort, you're able to insert the crank into the hole of the small metal plate. It fits perfectly.
Wow.
Here we go.
Here we go, everybody. A secret panel opens to another passage. Wow. I feel like saving. Anything could happen right now, don't you think?
Passages within passages, Lee.
Passages upon passages. I love how the light comes up on some areas as it falls on others. This is beautiful, I think. King's Quest goes on to use puzzle, like, some of the earlier King's Quest games use these light shedding puzzles. You have come upon some stairs leading upward. You wonder where they might lead. What are some other underground places that we know of in the Colonel's Bequest?
I don't know.
Oh,
Oh, the tomb.
wow. You have entered a cold, dark tomb. From moonlight shining in through a stained glass window, you can make out 4 vaults in the wall and a stone sarcophagus on the floor.
Each vault has a nameplate above it. The tomb door is barred on this side.
Which one should we open?
The one with the crucifix on it?
Okay.
Call on it. That seems like the one least likely to do harm. Okay, what if you open it with a crowbar then? All bets are off. You open the crowbar into the small opening between the vault door and the tomb wall. You then pull with all your might. With a loud crack, the door pops open. Yeah, extra fast animation. Popping that off. Get closer to the skin. That's pretty spooky, I'm not gonna lie. That's a skeleton. Okay.
Okay, take skeleton. Have respect for the dead, Laura. Okay, I'm sorry.
What does Laura hope to achieve from opening these bloody vaults?
I don't know. No, no, I want to come back. Laura, I want to come back.
Laura was overwhelmed there.
Yeah, she was.
I love this mantling animation where she hoists both of her legs over simultaneously.
That's what you look like when you're at the climbing center.
I do a lot of swinging my legs around like they're a bit of spaghetti.
You insert the crowbar into the small opening between the vault door and the tomb wall. You then pull with all your might. With a loud crack, the door pops open. What's in there?
Zelda secret object noise plays. A leather pouch.
Oops.
Take pooch.
Take pooch. Take pouch. I know we're both getting tired tonight.
I'm so sad that Fifi's dead.
I know, she was your favorite. Ha!
It's full of jewels.
Carefully, you close it again so as not to lose any. That's, you don't actually know, but that's a word-for-word callback to King's Quest IV. Yeah. You open the pouch, peer inside, it's full of precious jewels. Carefully close it again so as not to lose any.
That's a cool reference.
Yeah, it was. Don't call it a callback. It's been there for years.
We gotta open the door to this from the inside.
No, the thing is barred, trust me.
Yeah, but it's set from the inside.
Alright, well, now that we've robbed graves and found some dead bodies.
This evening's looking up for Laura. She's got a bag of jewels.
Yeah, you know, at least for solving this mystery, we're going to make our way out of here with some treasure, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think we should do?
Unless it turns out you were the murderer.
All along. Yeah, she killed everyone in the house.
It would be creepy if it turned out that she killed people basically during loading screens. You know, in those transitions where the screen goes dark when you walk between rooms.
How do we get out of here?
Yeah, up there.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that would actually be a really cool idea for an adventure game.
I like the idea of using loading screens as something. It's a bit Bioshock, you know.
Yeah.
It's a bit obvious, but...
You were X all along. I'm sorry, there's no way to get that dinosaur, in case you were wondering.
It is the most exciting thing in the game.
So, you know... So talk about who we have left and what you think the outcome we're getting close to is going to be.
Lee,
well, Quinns.
the corpses we haven't found so far are that of the Colonel, that of Lillian, Mad Lillian, that of Rudy, angry, indebted Rudy, the parrot, who I'm calling a long shot at this point, Beauregard, who is
Beauregard the dog. We just passed him, actually.
He's
He was
very old and probably not up for murder.
relaxing
so
in his doghouse.
Seeley,
Uh-huh.
who has identified evil and is mostly just hanging out in her cottage and would be a poor choice for a murderer because we've been given no motivations for her for the entire game.
No, and she is so profoundly a friendly archetype that, you know, that has to be why she's here. You know, Roberta Williams games were a lot of exciting things, but subversive was never. Rudy, I just saw Rudy walk by.
He dashed off.
He did. Yeah, subversive would never be a word with which we would describe a Roberta Williams game. I'm going to church, you know. I'm gonna say my prayers because I've just robbed some graves, and everyone is dead, and I don't know what else to do. I've never been a religious person, but you know, I think if we wandered around, we wouldn't be able to find many other people right now.
Ooh, Seeley's in church. God,
Here
it's
she is.
1:15 in the morning.
Yeah, it's very, very late.
I'm not sure anyone who made these adventure games stayed up that late.
Well, you know, ideally they were supposed to last you a long time. Hi, Seeley. Hey.
Is she dead? No.
What are you doing here, girl? Something mighty terrible is happening. Evil spirits are all around us. I think we're going to die before this night is over. Seeley, I saw a body.
Tell Seeley about Clarence.
She's not listening to you. She's visibly frightened and deep in prayer.
This is a game of people not caring that people are dead.
Well, yeah. I mean, if they cared, you know, someone would probably, like, get you off the island, call the police. It would really be over before it had all begun if people actually took you seriously. Rudy! Hello. Hey. Talk to Rudy. Something's wrong. I can feel it. I don't understand what's going on around here. Where is everybody?
Okay, I'm putting a line through Rudy.
You try to warn him, but he doesn't seem to be paying any attention to you.
He was earnestly nervous there.
Oh my goodness.
Is it really Lillian? That seems so obvious.
I don't know. God, there's a gun missing. There's a rando walking around outside. Rudy's walking around outside.
Well,
It's getting intense.
I mean, you've got to be on the list to be bumped off soon.
Yeah,
right?
I've got to. Why don't we check out the playhouse?
The playhouse.
Actually, you know, Lillian might be there.
Okay.
Being Lillian.
Being.
Have you seen the film Being Elmo?
No? Oh, the one about the
Puppeteer,
guy who
yeah.
operates Elmo? Is he the guy who got fired for being gay?
That's not why.
Oh.
There were some accusations of, there were some accusations. You could Google them, but it's not a conversation for this, a safe place.
Okay.
We have a visitor, darlings. Sit up straight now. Wow. Are you seeing what I'm seeing?
Look at her shake the doll.
And look at her chalkboard.
Oh. That's creepy. Look, chalkboard.
You see a small chalkboard on the wall. Strange. There are 7 tally marks on it. Well, how many bodies have we found?
7, Lee.
Do you think it
Or
could be
maybe
Lillian?
6 if we've missed someone. I'm gonna guess that it might be Lillian, yeah.
Lillian is acting very bizarre. Not only is she playing with the old dolls, but she's treating them as if they were alive. She barely notices you. Oh no, Lillian, snap out of it!
Our visitor is talking to us. Pay attention now.
Oh god. The dolls look like they've been hanging around here for a long time. You wonder who they used to belong to. Well, I don't.
How the hell did Lillian, this small girl, move huge bodies?
She had a laundry chute. I don't know. You know, there could be a lot about this old adventure game that isn't perfectly logical, but, as long as you just suspend your disbelief and enjoy the fun, like most people do, you can have a good time. Oh god, what should we do?
What should we do? You do seem to be striding with purpose, though, Lee.
I think I want to just go pack our bags and get out of here.
That sounds very reasonable.
You know what? Where else could we go? Rudy's outside, Lillian is outside, Celia's in the church. Where would you go right now?
Half expecting the chandelier to fall on you there.
I'm sorry. Yeah, wow, let's save just in case it does. That's just a jerk move, like, for an adventure game, you're doing so good, you're striding purposefully, and you can suddenly die. It's very dangerous. Alright, so let's enter our room.
Yeah, let's get out of here, Lee. I'm done. Oh, no.
And now we see Rudy. What is he doing in our room?
Why is he up so late?
I think he's a little worried about...
Oh.
Rudy is snooping around.
In the creepiest crouching animation ever.
Look, Rudy. Talk to Rudy. Show diary to Rudy. Okay, what kind of thing is he looking for?
Is it me, or did this game... This game actually gave us the specific cue to show people things, to tell people things.
It did, and I've skipped over a lot of that, but there is a whole lot of those things that you can notice. And they inform and enlighten you and help inform your next direction. They tell you a lot of things.
Oh, okay.
Well, friends, things are getting very intense. I kind of want to try to get out of here now. Rudy's not listening. We've tried to help. No one here is on our side.
We do have that. The parrot and the dog are still here.
Oh, yeah, let's feed the parrot.
That's a small victory. Oh, yeah. Wait, the parrot's downstairs.
No, he's up here. Oh, no, you're right. He is down here. Sorry. I get confused between Clarence's room and the bar. Looks like to reach the lawyer, you have to pass the bar. Hey.
I thought that was just a joke because Clarence drinks so much.
No, he doesn't actually. Well, he's in here, I guess. Oh, I didn't mean to go up there.
I wonder how those doors swing open before you reach them, because there's no animation for, like, your hands.
Well, I'm using the arrow keys to navigate, and you're meant to use the mouse.
Give cracker. You can.
To parrot. Oh, sleep tight, my pretties. In the basement. The basement. Well, we now know what that clue is to do with.
How creepy, though.
Yeah.
Never looked at that statue.
There you go.
Statue.
I'm sure that's very relevant to the mystery.
A lovely Greek maiden.
I know. Did you enjoy that? Should we look at the painting on the wall as well? You see a beautiful girl and casually wonder who she might be. Funny, her eyes have a strange hollow look to them.
Lovely girl, lovely maiden.
Hollow-eyed portraits and maiden statues, Quintin. There's something in this game for everyone.
Oh, man.
Okay, and we've stepped outside.
I find it interesting that Rudy hasn't been killed yet.
Yeah, I do too, but I think he's like walking around trying to figure out what's going on. Actually, I did forget something to do with Clarence. So I'd like to go see what happened to... Oh, now that he's dead, we can read his notebook.
Uh-oh, a bad feeling comes over you. The small desk chair has been knocked over and you see a fresh blood stain on the rug.
Gee, I wonder if Clarence is dead. Oh, wait. Yes, he is, friends. Okay. Let's examine the blood stain in case there's any footprints.
Ah, that answers my question as to whether there would be blood.
There will, yes. With monocle. No. Oh, but that diary is still on the desk.
The image of this girl getting her hands on a monocle and using it to look at everything.
Oh, this is Lillian's diary that we're reading. Look, desk. Clarence has left his notebook.
Take notebook.
You don't need to carry around Clarence's
well,
notebook.
okay.
Fine. We can steal Lillian's diary, but the lawyer's notebook is irrelevant. Wow, just looking at his notebook advances things. You notice that just one page has been written on, and today's date heads it. Curiously, you read the rest. It says...
I'm terribly apprehensive about what's going on here. I can't say why. Just call it a bad sensation. But as the evening wears on and I'm feeling more and more alone... Where's Wilbur? Where's Gertie? Where's Gloria? Could they have left without me? Is there a way to leave the island that I'm not aware of? Still, the spine-tingling feeling won't leave, and frankly, I'm scared.
Is there a way to leave the island, friends? Let's get out of here.
You'd hope.
I want to leave. Things are just a bit scary now, aren't they?
How did you arrive here?
It was actually one of those boats with a fan on the back.
Oh, yeah.
I think, or like, oh, it was like a steamboat. I think this is set in the 30s or 40s. Beauregard? Beauregard seems agitated about something. Okay,
Read note. What note is that on the front door? Oh my god.
You read the note. It says, "Meet me in the hedge garden." Oh no! A sudden gust of wind blows away the note. Okay, well let's chase the note. We do know where the hedge garden is, and it's not far.
I like that 7 people have been killed and Beauregard has finally woken up to the idea that...
Well, you know, he's a very old dog.
Oh, this is ominous. Oh, who's that? Is that the Colonel?
It looks like a woman in a man's jacket.
Is that the figure that was skulking around?
Yeah, maybe. Someone has shot Lillian to death in the hedge garden. Quite afraid now. You fear greatly for your own life.
Ah, crossing out Lillian.
Take gun. I'm taking it. Guy happens to fall upon a bullet not far from Lillian's hand.
Take bullet.
There you go.
Okay.
Okay. We search the body. The horrible gunshot wound to her chest area. What's this? You suddenly find a skeleton key in the pocket of the old army cape. God, did she steal the Colonel's clothes and wear them? And that might explain the boot print and the cape and the mysterious silhouette marauding outside.
It would explain everything. Except who killed her.
Yeah, wow. You know, it's just safe. Things are getting a little creepy.
The Colonel was a marksman, though. So it would make sense if... if not a marksman, a war hero.
What do you think? What do you think that skeleton key goes to? What's the one room you've been interested in that we can't unlock on
The
our own?
attic!
Oh my goodness.
I'm nervous now.
What should we do, Quintin?
Here we go, this is it.
You hear scuffling upstairs.
Oh wow, it is like... What's that movie we watched called? The Devil's House?
Yeah, a bit like the House of the Devil.
House of the Devil.
Ty West.
Or T West?
Yes. The Colonel.
That was an excellent movie though, very similar to this.
You hear scuffling further upstairs.
Further upstairs.
So before we go upstairs, what do you think is happening? So we have the Colonel and the Rudy left alive. If they are fighting, whose side would you take? We have a gun. They're probably two people in a scuffle. I want you to tell me who I should shoot.
Wow, what a dramatic end to this lo-fi Let's Play.
Yes, friends, it is very dramatic, and if you're playing along at home, I wonder if you know already what the right answer is. Well, we're going to head upstairs. We can unlock this door. I'm going to save the game right here. Who do you trust, and who do you think is bad?
I think you have to kill Rudy. I think you have to shoot Rudy.
How could it be the Colonel? Let's see.
You've written unlock there.
Oh my god, I'm so nervous. Oop. Now we unlock the attic door. Using the skeleton key, you unlock the attic door. So we know that Lillian had access to the attic. Are you nervous, friends? Because we are.
Oh my god.
Oh no! Colonel Dijon and Rudy are in the midst of a fierce struggle. You see a hypodermic needle between them, and it's impossible to tell which of the two men is the aggressor. This is indeed a dangerous situation, just like I somehow predicted, friends. Oh
my god, look at that animation.
I don't want to let it go too long.
Shoot Rudy.
Ready?
Yes.
This enter key is like pulling a trigger.
Bang. Oh, you didn't load the bullet.
Oh no.
Put bullet in gun. Load gun.
Okay.
Shoot Rudy.
Shoot Rudy.
Fucking hell.
You have shot and wounded Rudy.
You took him out, Lee. That was cold. That's like the end of MGS3.
Since when does she know how to shoot a gun? It was not like the end of MGS3. Let's not exaggerate. Thank you, young lady. Would you like to do the honors, Quinns?
Thank you, young lady. Laura, that was some mighty fine shooting for a gal. I guess I owe you my life, don't I? Why, my nephew was trying to kill me with poison in one of Wilbur's hypodermic needles. Oh, it's terrible what's happened here tonight. I invite everyone here to tell him about my will, and they end up killing each other over it. Truthfully, I was keeping my eye on everyone in the house tonight. Or so I thought. I didn't see any of the murders. It wasn't until I met Rudy in my bedroom that he told me what had happened. I couldn't believe it.
He told me that my niece Lillian had finally gone totally berserk, and out of a crazy jealousy was killing everyone that she thought had gotten between her and me. That was Quintin loudly drinking tea. She managed to just about murder everyone till she attacked Rudy with my derringer. Rudy managed to wrestle the gun from her, and in self-defense killed her instead.
My nephew, seeing as how everyone else was already dead, decided to finish the job by killing me with a hypodermic needle. Say I died of a heart attack induced by the terrible deeds of tonight.
I can't stand much more of this, Laura. Please find Celie and tell her to fire one of the signal rockets that we use to summon help in emergencies. Why don't you have a phone? He's an
Moral of the story
He's an
is-
elderly man with some ability issues.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow.
I somehow knew that one day Rudy would run afoul of the law. There's Beauregard,
There's
Celie,
the three of you
Laura.
all sat together.
Aww. You've been a loyal servant to me for many years, Celie, and both Beauregard and Blaze trust you.
What about the parrot?
I've decided to leave all my money to you, provided you take care of my animals for the rest of their lives.
What about Laura?
Of course, sir. I can't think of anything else I'd rather do. Thank you, sir. Yeah, what about Laura? This has been the worst weekend of her whole life. Miss Bow, I know you found an old Civil War treasure on my estate. Yes, I did. I opened a family tomb. I pried it open. Since you so bravely saved my life, I'll let you keep every dime of it for yourself as a reward. Well, thanks. I'm sorry I disturbed your family crypt. That's very kind of you, Colonel Dijon. So, when it comes to this game, Beauregard, people are funny creatures. They're greedy. They're rude. They're selfish. Now, we know Ice lived alone all these years. That's why we live way out here, to get away from them. But we couldn't get away from them completely, could we, boy? No, not completely, but everything will be okay now. Man, How depressing.
The end.
The Colonel had such a terrible family.
The moral of this story
and
is
the
that
only
people
person who
are
saved
awful.
his life was
Oh
someone
my
who stole
God.
his jewels.
Ah.
See, I told you we didn't do perfect. Would you like to review your notes?
Yes.
Most people, the first time they play this game, end up absent-minded.
I like that barely conscious. The
Yes.
conscious is on the
Yeah,
thermometer.
you could have just sort of sleep no more'd it through this level, following the people around, and gotten to the last level and watched Rudy kill the Colonel with the hypodermic needle because you've never picked up the gun. There's a lot of things that could happen, and that's why this game is so interesting.
I like that presumably one of the things on this thermometer that's important is getting the jewels, implying that a policeman's job is to rob a house.
Well, you got to make sure you get paid. No one's going to leave their money to you otherwise. We befriended. So if we hadn't made friends with Seeley, this would be blank, encouraging us on the next playthrough to try to forge some alliances.
Does that mean you could befriend more than one person?
I don't actually know. Took food item from. So it's these are categories at the end of the
where
game.
did we take crackers and
We took a
these
soup
are
bone.
weird
We
categories.
took a carrot. We took
Yeah.
crackers. But if we hadn't, the food items are actually crucial to solving the game.
Yeah.
Most of them. The soup bone is crucial to befriending Seeley, and the carrot is crucial to getting the lantern from the horse. So, the first time I finished this game, all I'd done was follow the characters around and end up at the conclusion and spy on some people and pick up some things without knowing what they did. This notebook guide was actually very helpful into sort of directing me into what I should do.
Took useful item from body of.
Yep.
Can you imagine if this was a real detective's notebook?
Yeah.
Like your boss looked at it and was like...
But it
"Stephen."
tells you that you find crucial things by typing search body, because if you just type look, you would never have found anything. What else? People found murdered. Have we found everybody?
We did not. No, there
Who
was
were we
someone else we
missing?
found in the... someone we missed and we found them in the laundry room later.
Well,
Maybe
no, I
not.
think this is everyone.
Yeah, maybe we
Only
got 'em
Rudy
all.
and the Colonel are not mentioned here. I think we found all the bodies. Found a secret entrance and an exit, so we found a high number of the secret passages. Objects used more than once. Crackers, crowbar, diary, oil can, monocle. Sounds like a very professional detective book.
Took object from suitcase.
Right, but that
It's the
directs
highest
you. If
thing
you
we
didn't
all
solve the
aspire to.
mystery the first time, it directs you to keep an eye on Lillian and her things, which is important if you want to solve it. Now we found the pouch of jewels. I'd never actually solved that one before. We found a Bible. Uh-oh.
Oh, that's what we missed. We missed one object.
Yeah, I think it was Lillian's perfume. That we see her spraying, and that if we missed maybe smelling it in the passageways. I don't know. People with gambling habits.
Oh, we caught all of that.
People guilty of embezzlement. People with a telltale scent. We
Oh, we
missed
did miss
Lillian's
the perfume.
perfume. Yeah,
Ah.
we did. Person refusing to sell something. So if you'd come up with any incompletes during this, it gives you some clues for your next
People
playthrough.
romantically involved. Jeez, Fifi, Clarence Sparrow.
Person wishing to end an affair. So it tells you to eavesdrop more if you don't have any of these things. Objects which change location. We missed one. Oh, the flowers. We didn't observe the flowers moving from Jeeves's room into Fifi's room. But that level of observance is important. Ultimate location of most bodies. People who struggled physically. Wow, incomplete.
But Colonel Dion didn't struggle physically.
He was fighting with Rudy. People who used secret...
struggled in that way. Okay.
Yeah, there was someone else who was using the secret passages.
Oh, what a conclusion to a game.
One who murdered the most people. Yeah, it's a wonderful conclusion. The first time you made it to the attic. When I got to the game, I was like, what? You can get to the attic before the end? Brilliant stuff, isn't it? I think that's the end.
That's the end of your detective's notes.
Exit. Some portions of your notes are rather scanty.
That's rude.
You can replay the game to gain additional information. The monocle resembles a magnifying glass. Consider it a noteworthy event whenever you see a character change clothes, apply makeup, wash up, or apply perfume. Watch Rudy closely. Something of the doctor's is missing. Yeah, if we had gone into the Colonel's room before we witnessed the struggle, we would have seen the doctor's bag with the hypodermic needle missing. Follow Fifi. You'll be glad you did. I think Quinns was glad that we followed Fifi.
Glad.
Okay, well, That's the end, friends.
Oh, back to the DOS prompt. That's
Yes.
amazing.
Well, we've come to the end of our very first full-length lo-fi Let's Play of The Colonel's Bequest by Sierra Roberta Williams. Fantastic classic game, one of my favorite adventures.
Thank you so much for having me, Lee.
Thank you so much for coming along, Quinns. Your companionship and your problem-solving skills and your sense of humor were so much appreciated on this journey, and it brought me back to the times that I used to play computer adventures head-to-head with my friends, and hope we can bring that back a little bit. I'd like, all of you listening to try to play Colonel's Bequest with your friend. Perhaps try to impress someone who's never seen the game before with your sleuthing skills. Thank you so much if you've watched all the way with us and seen all the way to the end. I hope you had a wonderful time. Happy Halloween.